Hello there. Sorry, I was just bringing up something. Hello, guys. Welcome back to New York City with your boy Chris. What's up, man?
What's going on, Gump?
Not much.
Ready to play some video games?
Yeah, we're playing some video games. So last time I left you guys off, I forget what mission we did, but off stream, I decided to just do all the side shit. So let me see. How do I play? I haven't played in a bit. So yeah, I did all the photographs. I took all the book bags, and I took all the photos of the city. So we got all those tokens saved up because I believe I'm on the hardest difficulty, and the fact that I have none of the gear or any of the upgrades, and I have like pretty much beginner health. It's hard. So basically, if one of the bosses hits me once, I'm pretty much fucked. So yeah, that's why I've been doing that off stream. But none of the main stuff is away. So let's get right into the game. We're just gonna be chilling out and talking. So if you guys got any questions or anything you want to talk about, just comment down below. Me and Chris will talk about it. Anyway, Chris, how was your day, dude?
I was busy. Busy,
Ah,
busy, busy.
busy. Just doing the usual with the future film.
The future film, yes.
So
Yes,
just
that's kind of living and breathing that at the moment. But I was gonna
yeah.
ask you a question.
Oh
Like, how
yeah.
do you feel about like these games where like, okay, you have to go through progressions. Like you're not as strong, you can't do these abilities, you have to unlock them as you go. Do you feel like that's just a cheap way to padding out the gaming time?
Um, in a sense, I see where you're coming from, and I don't feel like that's the case because I'm gonna look at it on more of a positive set of view. It's to reward the gamer for putting in work. So if you wanna get like a specific upgrade to a certain gear, or you want to unlock a new gear, um, yeah, then upgrade, do the side quests, and that I think that's a cool way. But in the certain elements, if I want to go on the opposite side, play devil's advocate,
Hmm.
like some of the gear, like in Spider-Man, for instance, some of the gear is actually relatively old. He's like, I wonder why I never really unlocked this. I'm not the biggest fan of that. The upgrading, I 100% will love. I just love the feeling of upgrading my character, making him stronger. But in the story sense, it makes no sense to me. Um, but way you can look at it is so you don't overwhelm the user, just giving him literally everything at once.
Right.
But I don't know. There's many ways you can really look at it. What's up, Eddie? What's up, Webhead? What's going on, guys? Like I said in the beginning of the stream, if you guys got a topic, question, whatever, comment down below. I'm assuming that you're not a fan of that because I think you brought that up last week, right? Or 2 weeks ago.
It's Yeah, it's not so much that I'm not a fan of it. I noticed it. I noticed it as a reoccurring trend. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be kind of cool if you could grab Spider-Man and you're at like Superman, like a Superman game. Like, how are you gonna power up Superman throughout the game? He's Superman.
Yeah, that's why it was always pretty difficult to make a Superman game. I remember playing the Superman Returns game, which was like my go-to game growing up, even though I barely remember it. Um, I just I don't remember any ranking up because there's just no gear, and you're right. So that's why I guess it's pretty difficult to make a game about that because there's no like reward to like 100% the game when it comes to you as a character.
Unless you do a complete Superman origin story where you start off as first year Superman and you have to
Yeah,
develop and learn your powers as you go. You
yeah,
couldn't be like a fully adult super like well me adult, but you couldn't be a fully fleshed out Superman character in
yeah.
the game.
It's difficult. It's really that's why I don't think that there. I'm not sure if you knew this, but I forget the company that made the Arkham games.
Hmm.
But they were supposed
It
to
was
make a
WB.
Superman game. They were supposed to make a
Right.
Superman game of that same
Wrong.
style and that same universe, and then it never really got off the ground. I haven't really heard anything about that in like years.
Yeah, me neither. I saw the concept art.
It was I freaking
And
wanted this. I just want to see a JLA gaming universe like we talked about last time we were on this game. where we talk about a Avengers gaming universe. But imagine like the same style, the same vein of Arkham, but with like a Flash, but with a like a Green Lantern, like a Green Lantern.
I would like a Justice League. Maybe you can jump between characters and different missions that you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like I think this would be overly ambitious, but this is just me, just thinking like how cool would it be if there was just one story, but it could be told in 7 different perspectives because it's just that much of a large game, and you can play Batman's perspective and you just play him, and he's got like his whole game to himself, but it's still the same story.
Yeah, his little side missions and stuff like that, but it's all linked together. That'd
Yeah,
be cool, and then you can. Right, and then you maybe if you beat it as a 2, that you can go Superman or Batman at first, but if you beat the game with those 2, then you unlock other characters' point of views.
Yeah, I think
cool.
That's why I
That
want
would keep you gaming, but you would need to like be hooked up to the internet. You would need to be downloading constantly.
Yeah, that's the one
whole
problem
story.
because like how big is this thing gonna be? Like how much on the visual end? Because if you're gonna make people play the same story 7 different times, it's got to be massive and it's got to be different each time. So you got to really find a creative way to make each story feel unique and playable. Like
Right.
like with
gonna
Aquaman,
be
obviously, like have a huge mission underwater. How are you going to
That'd be
develop that?
sick.
Yeah, and like imagine like
sick.
a Green Lantern thing where he's got to go to Oa.
Yeah, he has to
like
go
trying
to
to he's
Oa.
trying to recruit the other Green Lanterns. He's like, yo, like imagine Darkseid be the main villain, right? He's like, dude, Darkseid's coming to Earth.
Darkseid.
Yeah, like Darkseid's coming to Earth. We need your help, and that's like a huge mission. And then he's got to fight off the Sinestro Corps. And
There you
like,
go.
Like, dude, I think that'll be fucking dope. So it's just basically this huge desperation to just stop, Darkseid, and they're all trying to do whatever they got to do. And Darkseid and Superman, his whole thing is just kind of like holding Darkseid off in whatever way that would be, to fight off his minions and stuff like that, while the other guys are just like, dude, we're fucked. We're trying to figure out what to do over here. I think that would be really cool.
I think that would be dope.
Yeah, bro. Now I'm like, the more I talk, but that's just the longest I've talked about that game concept because everyone's like, just Batman games, please. I'm like, dude, let's get a variety over here.
Dude, I would love to play a decent game as like the Flash or Green Lantern or hell, even Superman. That's my
Dude.
second favorite superhero. No, I'm
Agreed.
sorry. That's my favorite superhero. Batman's not a hero.
You're gonna piss a lot of people off. I'm just kidding. No,
I know, but he's not. He's an anti-hero. He doesn't claim to be. He doesn't want the note. You know what I mean? Like, he's a vigilante, anti-hero, and I like that. But I also like, for me, I'm getting off on a tangent. But Batman, Superman, like yin and yang.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, the light and the dark. And for me, I love that. There's a part of me that wants to be Superman. You know what I mean? Because he's just a great human being, but also superpowers, right? He's someone you want to live up to. But then there's the part of me that appreciates Batman's brand of I'm gonna fucking get justice one way or another, and I don't give a shit if you get hurt. And I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna stand in the shadows. I'm not gonna gloat about it. I'm gonna protect the little man, and I'm not gonna kill. I'm not gonna stoop myself down to the criminal level. But you still have to deal with it. And he goes out night after night. Dude, something about you gotta love the two. For me, they're my favorite heroes.
Yeah, that's why I
Not
always
heroes,
want-
my favorite.
I know what you
book
mean.
Characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we got a comment. Okay, there was a trailer. This is from the Amazing Webhead. There was a trailer for the new Batman animated film called Death in the Family. A prequel to Red Hood, but it's the first movie I've heard that's interactive, that you can make your own choices.
Did you see the trailer?
I saw the trailer, and it
What did you
reminded me
think?
a lot. But it reminded me a lot of the movie Under the Red Hood.
I never saw that one yet. It's on my list of things that I gotta watch. I've been catching up on a lot of TV and a lot of movies. That is on the list. I want to watch Superman 2 before I watch Superman 3, which I'm really looking forward to. So after I'm done Superman 2, I'll watch Under the Red Hood because I heard a lot of good things about it.
What are you doing here?
Same as you. Working.
So we got Angry Ninja says what's up from Twitter.
I,
Yo, what's up, dude?
Thanks.
so Robbie
Yeah, I'm confused because they reset with the end of Apocalypse War, Dark Apocalypse War. The DC animated movies have been reset. So is Death in the Family one of the new? Because I know they got the new Superman coming out. And is Death in the Family? What I don't know is it in the same continuity? Because
I don't think so.
Why don't they? It doesn't make sense to be.
You got two
if they're
options
rebooting,
here.
You don't reboot with that story, right?
You got two options here. Either that this is what I would have preferred. This is just a one-off, like, hey, wouldn't this be cool? And they just went with that story because they're like, wow, how are we going to really challenge the viewer and putting them in a really tight spot, and they pick that story.
I'm sorry.
And plus, that comic where, like, which Robin was it? Tim Drake?
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, okay. Jason Todd, like, it was famous that the fans voted for him to die. So
they didn't
I think
like him.
No one liked him. And so they killed him off. And so I feel like that's what they're trying to go for. They're like, okay, this comic was very famous for not only killing a major character, but it was a fan's choice.
Involving the fans.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what they're trying to do. So I hope it's an isolated thing, but if it's connected to this new universe that they're setting up, you're right. It's not exactly a good game a good movie to start off with, especially something so odd and unique. Because what happens if it fails? I'm not saying it is going to fail, but what happens if it does fail and you're starting off your universe on a wild card like that? I think it would be better off as an isolation.
But it's intriguing nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely agree. And the animation was freaking great.
It does look really cool.
And it's gonna bring my anxiety levels to the roof because I'm like, I want to pick the right choice where everyone's happy at the end. And the trailer's like, just no matter what you pick, there's gonna be consequences. I'm like, no. It's just like,
well, that's what I love though. You know what I mean? You got to make those tough choices.
Yeah, it's gonna really put you in the eyes of Batman.
Did you know him well?
So we got some more comments. Angry Ninja says he kind of does. He allows his villains killing civilians, especially the Joker.
I don't know what you're trying to refer to there. He was probably referring to like Batman not being a superhero, because him. That's what I'm assuming that he's trying to say.
Amazing Webhead says it's just a short prequel until they get to make a choice to let Jason live or die, and if he lives but still got beat by the Joker, becomes Hush or a dark red Robin. Well, that's fucked up, because Hush is the Riddler. Spoiler, if anybody didn't know that. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was kind of spoiled that a while ago, back when I was playing DC Universe Online. Like, this guy was going
It's like Telltale, which is cool. Have you seen Telltale?
No, it was something I was interested in, and then they just kind of died.
It's a pretty unique. It's really cool because it looks like Batman, but it doesn't taste like Batman. Like the characters, their origin stories, how everything happened. Like, do you know Thomas Wayne's a criminal?
No.
He ran Gotham. He was part of the criminal underworld. In Telltale. Batman was committed to Arkham Asylum. He got escaped. He got helped. He escaped, but he was helped by John Doe, who is the Joker. So it's a fucking nut story, bro. You gotta check it out. You can go on YouTube and watch the whole movie.
Why does this bitch not let me take a photo? Take the photo.
Because you don't have the press credentials. I'll take the staff job. That's a Spider-Man 3 reference.
Oh man, Spider-Man 3.
I recognize that statue.
What a disappointment. That's. I want everyone to know, as a wannabe filmmaker, I 100% understand why certain studios feel like they gotta interfere. There's too much of one thing and too little of another thing. Spider-Man 3 is a key component of too much interference. Sony rubbing their fucking nutsack over Sam Raimi's forehead, saying, we want Venom, and we want this, and then we want that, we want this and want that. I'm just like, okay, let's relax. Just I don't know.
Too many villains. Harry's a villain, Sandman's a villain, and wrap Sandman into killing Peter's uncle, and then Venom is just like wasted, and it's just.
And they killed him off.
Hello, Craig.
He just killed him off. He's like, I don't like this character. If your director does not like a villain and you want that villain to be in there, I think it would be the smart choice to either replace him, replace the director, or don't let him put the villain in. It's that simple. Because clearly they're going to do the character disservice, especially if they don't like him.
The third movie wasn't Sam Raimi's fault.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's just 100%.
Say what you want about the first two, but yeah, that is some. And Kevin Feige, the good Lord, everyone who loves Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige was a big advocate for pushing out too many villains in that movie. Just so you know, he was a big advocate as associate producer. Not associate producer, executive producer. Oh, he's associate producer. I don't know, but he was a big advocate for put fucking Venom in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
so he makes a lot of good choices, but he also makes a lot of, he's human. So
yeah, and like everyone's got to learn somewhere. Everyone's got to learn somewhere, and plus, I don't think Kevin Feige's this untouchable being. Like I will always respect Kevin Feige for doing the impossible and making a shared cinematic universe possible and doing literally something that no one deemed possible. It was unique. Like, the shit that he did was only popular in television. Can this bitch move? Shoo! Get on your phone and go somewhere else, you little dweeb. Your fucking suit's shit. Oh my god, she's pissing me off.
Anyway, we have a comment from Webhead. I kind of realized that Spider-Man 3 isn't as bad as it is better than the...
Amazing Spider-Man. No, lies. Lies. The first Amazing Spider-Man movie was, like... It's decent.
Mediocre.
It's decent at best, but I think it's told better on a can you fucking move? Sorry. She's really pissing me off. She's just sitting there. Thank you.
Is she on her cell phone?
Yes. Fucking Christ.
Do your job.
She's like, yes. Yes. I'm like, I heard you say yes 50 times. Sorry. What were we talking about again?
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, Amazing Spider-Man was mediocre. Like, if you take the whole, it's a bad Spider-Man movie, take Spider-Man out of the picture.
I kind of like it.
It's better on its own. Spider-Man 3, in my opinion, is just... I don't blame...
If it was called Spider-Guy Vigilante New York, it would have been a good movie.
Yeah, agreed. Like,
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, you just got the coughs, bro. Yeah, it's fine.
Dude, I got the Rona.
No, but like,
yeah.
It's just what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm trying to talk and just because I really got a lot to say. I don't know.
They got some comments.
Oh, what we got here?
An angry ninja said, "I'm referring to Batman. Keeps allowing the villains to continue to go evil things and killing people in Gotham, while Batman is like, this is okay, and breaks people's bones for some answers."
I mean, Superman doesn't just break bones to break bones. There's a lot of different versions you're just bringing up right there. Like,
that's Batman. You mean?
Oh, Batman. I thought I heard you say Superman did that. I'm like,
no. Batman. No, like, what do you...
Well, the thing is, the whole thing with Batman is him trying to put the fear in these villains, and
That's not right.
telling them like, "Yo,"
and they're criminals.
Yeah, they're criminals. So it's not they're not like these like little Miss Granny, do whatever.
He doesn't just attack somebody who didn't attack him first, like. He doesn't just, if he's dealing with a criminal who's not a fucking violent offender, he doesn't treat them the same way as he does if he's going into a nest of fucking armed guards who just robbed Gotham Bank.
And plus, you got to think about this too. He's in Gotham City, where in every incarnation we hear of Batman, it's very vividly clear how shitty Gotham is. So I don't think giving them a little pep talk like Superman does is gonna clean up the city. You gotta strike fear into these guys.
Excuse me, sir.
And plus, he's a guy with no
People don't-
power, so if he's got no
Right.
fear, what does he have? He's dressed as a bat for a reason.
Only the criminals, like only the like for the most like so say me and you lived in Gotham City. You know what we would know of the Bat? We wouldn't know jack shit. We would hear about him. We wouldn't know if he was real or a fucking real bat, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we would be just like, what the fuck? This Batman dude is at it again? Who's this? You know, this Batman dude? Is he a man? Like the whole point of how he's handling things is to scare criminals.
Yeah.
The guy I saved 5 minutes ago.
And the fact that he doesn't kill him, he locks him up. If they get out again, he's like, that's fine. Zips up his cowl, goes back out there, kicks their ass, does it again. Somebody's got to do it. Someone's got it. You know. I love
Yeah.
that about him.
Yeah, we're in like Metropolis. Metropolis, don't get me wrong, it does have crime in it, obviously, or when I need a Superman.
Not a lot.
But like, yeah, it's. And some people can say, oh, it's because of Superman and the way he does things. I mean, to be fair, Superman is literally bulletproof. He's a legitimate floating over a city. If you had to go, like, okay, if I'm going to do crime, Metropolis or Gotham, like, we know how Batman handles things. We know that from the experience of watching the movies and shows and stuff like that. But if these characters are just myths and legends, right? Well, Batman at least. You're okay. We maybe run into the Bat, but he does bleed. Would you rather go against that, or go against a guy who cannot have a scratch on him, no matter how much you hit him?
If you're gonna make a risk, you go for Batman, but you still don't. I mean, if your choices are Metropolis or Gotham, go deal with the Flash. At least he won't beat you up.
Central City. Yeah, Central
Go to
City.
Central
Just
City, right.
yeah, he's gonna do some. Depending on the Flash you're dealing with, he's gonna be like, ooh,
Right.
oh, super fast.
He's just gonna tie you up real fast, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like he doesn't need to hit you because he's just like in, out, done.
Here's the cool thing, though, that I think Nolan did a really good job when it comes to Batman. When in The Dark Knight, when Maroni said, we're wise to your act. You have rules. This guy doesn't. Criminals started realizing that Batman isn't going to kill us. Batman's not going to risk anybody's lives. We can get away if we put people in harm's way because he's going to care about them more than us. So the criminals are starting to get smart. How many years could Batman really rule Gotham in the shadows before criminals start to piece together, wait, this guy's not killing us? And every time he's put in a situation where there's hostages or it's a big enough situation he can't get himself out of, he's going to get the hostages out first, which leaves us a way to escape. He's willing to let us escape. So if you make your crime big enough where you have to let the Joker go, so to speak, in order to save all these hostages, you win.
Yeah.
Because they know Batman's not willing to risk their lives to stop the Joker.
And little did they
that's a weapon.
Little did they know,
Right,
if you do that enough times, he's gonna be prepared the next time. He's not gonna be too happy.
No, that's Batman. Like you can fool him once, maybe, but my Batman in my head never gets fooled. Like I don't like when they write him that way. My Batman's always got an ace up his sleeve, no matter what situation you put him in. Like, how the fuck can you get out of this? Well, there's so many great comic books that just shine light on Batman's ability to like be 500 ahead of everybody and contingency plans upon contingency plans and one of them is Tower of Babel. If you ever read Tower of Babel,
No.
where I forget who steals it. Somebody steals all the ways to take out the Justice League. Batman's contingency plan.
Oh, that was in
League
the animated
movie.
movie Doom. Justice League Doom. Yeah.
Yeah. It's based off. I think it's based off the Tower of Babel comic.
Yeah. And Kenzie, I did play this before. This is probably lost count, legitimately lost count how many times I beat the game. I joked around and was over exaggerated when I said 15 times. I probably beat it like realistically, probably beat the game like 6 times.
Jeez, I beat the game once and I'm done. I don't need to go play it again.
It's mainly because I was bored and I wanted to 100% it and get all the upgrades. I'm almost done getting all the I guess you call the milestones. It's just like you gotta like do these like close calls, like perfect dodges X amount of times and stuff like that. Almost 100% all of those on my my actual file. This is just me kind of restarting on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, so it's not the first time I beat this game or played this game. I got this shit day one. Second I saw there was a Spider-Man PS4 game coming out, I was like copping day one, and yeah.
I like Spider-Man. I'm just, you know,
he's not your guy.
I've seen, like, it's just not like this game looks cool, but I ruined it for myself and kind of watched and figured out what the story was and stuff like that, and I was just like, it's a button masher for the most part.
I mean, that's what Arkham is too.
Yeah, but I love Batman. I don't love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh shit, the comics. Okay.
Yeah.
Angry Ninja says in the comics, I loved Superior Spider-Man and Miles comics, and I love Tams too. The MCU Spidey isn't what Spidey is in the comics. No, MCU Spider-Man's more like Ultimate, I think.
I mean, he's got I feel like he's got the feel down when it comes. I won't say feel. He's got the jokiness of like the actual Spider-Man, like not Peter but Spider-Man. But I feel like he's too goofy as Peter.
I don't like his Peter. I like his Spider-Man okay, but I don't
I
really
think his
like.
I think his Peter is better than Toby and Andrew's though, because Toby.
I thought Toby's Peter was good.
He's just too. First off,
his
he's too
Spider-Man
old.
was horrible.
Oh,
You're
the
the one
Spider-Man's terrible.
You're the one's out of here, Gabi. Out of your mind.
Dude, when I saw that line, when I rewatched that movie with my friend who was living with me at the time, I heard that line. I'm like, wow. It's just like, wow.
I just feel like everyone looked at Sam during that, and he's just like, what? Say the line, bitch. What?
Say my name.
Why did you say that name?
Just so fucking awful. Like, that was the closest we got to a quippy Spider-Man. And I want to delve deep into the reason why Spider-Man's quippy. Like, we have not really gotten that. Stan Lee said that Spider-Man quips because he's scared, he's nervous, and he doesn't want the enemies to know that he's a fucking terrified person, even though he's got these amazing abilities. Like, they acknowledge that in this Spider-Man game. Yeah, that's what he does in this game. Like, Doc Ock, before he's the villain, like, Doc Ock gets mad because he's slowly deteriorating, and he's just like, damn it! And then Peter just makes a little quip. And he's like, oh, sorry, I tend to do that in tense situations. And I'm just like, yes, that's what I want to see. Just like a Peter who uses it as a defense mechanism. But in this, it's just riddled and mixed in with the whole MCU. Everyone's is a jokester, you know, stand-up comedian kind of guy. So Peter loses his charm, well, specifically Spider-Man, because Spider-Man was one of the few heroes that had a lot of quips. Everyone, fucking hell, they need Captain America, at least in the last few movies, a quipster. He's just like, I can do this all day. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm just like, everyone's got quips now. It just kind of ruined the charm. Ant-Man, they had to. They had to do that with Ant-Man.
Or even Hawkeye got to do them.
Yeah, like what the fuck? It's just like
all right, none of this makes sense, right? You know, the city's flying, we're fighting a bunch of robots, and I have a bow and arrow. Okay, none of this makes sense. I'm like, okay, I don't, you know.
Yeah, like
okay, cool. Everyone's super witty, and everyone can beat up everybody. And,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just that's what made MCU Spider-Man just feel iffy. Like, don't get me wrong, I like to this day I will defend Tom Holland as my favorite Spider-Man, and Peter, just like that, the whole package. But you're right though, Tobey's did feel like Peter Parker, like what we even know was literally just
man.
Yeah. They
and
should
not
have
the
just
Spider Boy.
Yeah, and they needed better writing. And to be fair, that was just 2000's fault. That's not even the writer's fault. That's not even the director's fault. That's just product of the times. I can't really fault them with that.
I mean, if you go back in time, Spider-Man 2 was some of the biggest.
Why can't I
like those films were different back then, man.
Yeah,
they just were. You were more willing to accept faults. There wasn't all these couch critics nowadays.
Yeah, where everyone just knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Right, and films were, they followed formula. They were formulaic as shit. Now they're formulaic as shit, but in a different way. They're formulaic as shit when it comes to like action movies and superhero movies. They're all formulaic.
Yeah.
Big bad. We all need a team up. You get team up origin story, MacGuffin, big bad guy, massive world extinction event. Those are the things you get. That's all you get.
Yeah.
We got some comments to say Gump is just blinded by nostalgia. LOL.
What are you talking about?
Spider is more like Miles Morales when you think about it, but I get Gump's point. That's
how am I blinded by nostalgia?
PS4 Spidey is amazing. Angry Warrior Ninja Warrior guy says Tom Holland's package XD.
No, it's because I said he's the full package, and then I think at one point I just like, yeah, Tom Holland's the full package. So
we've got the full package. Oh, I love how realistic TASM.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
The Amazing Spider-Man. How realistic it was. Like that opening sequence with his, like, when he's falling out of the sky and shit. That's pretty cool.
Like I loved how, like, grounded it felt. Like a lot of people do not like the suit. I thought it fit the universe.
The second suit was much better. The second suit
it was more comic book accurate, but it just did not fit the tone of that. I mean, it fit the tone of the second one, because the second one was just fucking all over the place. Super, like, okay, now we went from like a Dark Knight kind of esque story. Now we're going to a like super comic book, pretty blues and whites and bright colors. Like, it was just a total tonal shift, and it didn't fit. And so now, for the few people that like the original Amazing Spider-Man, you alienated them into not liking the next one, and
and that's what they do all the time. They take the criticism, but they don't look at the things that people really like, and you alienate the people who actually like the first one when you do the second one, just to appease an audience that didn't like it.
Yeah, I feel like there's
that audience
balancing.
Because you want the right. You got to find a balance. But then, you know what? If you're gonna, like, seriously, if you're gonna start up a hero, and you want to go multi-film, now you know what they do? They don't plan them out. They go, if this one does good, then we'll plan it. Well, no. You set the story from the get-go. You get everything going, and you tell the stories regardless. You flesh the characters out, because so many of the second and third films are nowhere near the tone of the first film. It's almost like they're completely different characters in completely different universes. They get away from that shit too easily. So, like, if you're gonna reboot, say they want to do, let's just say they want to do Flash movie. Well, chances are you're probably gonna get a sequel. So why don't you plan for 2 films, so the films look cohesive? Yeah,
exactly. And I understand why they make changes. Changes are gonna happen. But you got to do that shit subtly. You can't go like one movie looking like the Christopher Reeves movies and the next movie being Man of Steel. You can't do that. You just can't. And you got to find a way to make it feel right. Like, I don't know. It's just not how it should work. And wow, my web swinging feels so much different from my actual file. It's so much more sluggy. Oh no! Oh god, it feels so jank. Because I don't have all the web swinging upgrades. So everything's not so smooth. Oh jeez, Rick. Dude, I'm going to lose him. I'm actually going to lose him. Am I going to actually lose the Shocker? Ah, jeez. Yes! I lost the Shocker! I missed him. Oh, we got a couple comments. We got 6 people in the chat. What's going on, guys? Chris, you there?
Yeah, we got some. Yeah. What's up, Gump? Dorks next door?
Yo!
Hey, Dorks next door. The opening of Amazing Spider-Man 2 with him swinging was the only good part. I agree.
Like, I was
music
so
is kinda
excited
cool.
for Electro.
I like the music a little bit.
Like Electro.
The soundtrack wasn't too bad.
Yeah, Electro was someone I was looking forward to. Because I'm like, oh, a villain I haven't seen. I thought it would be kind of cool to see how Spider-Man would react to something like an Electro. Like, how's he gonna use his brains to like outsmart this guy and all this shit? And then we just got Jamie Foxx doing some weird, trippy, like self-dialogue, like mental torture, self-destroyer. Like, what the fuck was that? What? Oh shit, Rick. But like, what was that? I want to know. I want to go into the meeting of who decided that. Like, seriously. Like, that's not Electro. And people are shitting on the fact that he's a CG blue guy. I'm like, that is an actual look of Electro. There's two versions, the green and yellow spandex, and then there's the blue Electro Dr. Manhattan-esque look. There's two different looks. People act like, oh, it's got to be the spandex one. No. I was actually excited they went for that look. That's what I wanted to see. But the route they took, ass. How can you take an Academy Award winning, I think he won once, Jamie Foxx, and turn him into that? And his reasoning behind being a villain, he's like, Spider-Man didn't love him. Wow. 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 And then the Rhino, take Paul Giamatti, how to waste an iconic name like that.
I tolerate you.
No, the Rhino could have been a cool character. They should have gone with him instead of Electro.
The Rhino is not a main villain worthy candidate. He's just not.
Electro is? I don't think so.
Rhino is not. He's just a dumb big brawler. He's more of like a
it
3-arc episode villain.
Like when Batman faced Bane. You know, maybe this guy could have just caught him off guard and beat the shit out of him in the first encounter. And he had to he has to think his tactics. You know, rethink his tactics.
Well, Web Slinger, this shit's whack.
And Spider-Man realizes he can't go brute force with him, obviously. So he has to be smarter than him and shit. I don't know. We got some comments. Yeah, honestly, don't remember much about the Amazing Spider-Man movies except for the random Sinister Six teases. That's from Dorks Next Door. Amazing
That was
Webhead
ass.
said Spider-Man the Animated Series reference. He said earlier, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. And Angry Ninja says, it's me, or was the Bay Formers films were extra good.
2 was ass. 2 is my
I like
least
the first
favorite.
one.
The first one was
kind
decent.
of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
2 was terrible. Literally, they set up this big sack of fucking metal just so one of the actors can go under. He's like, I am under the nut sack. And explain this to me. Explain this to me. The battleships literally could see the pyramids from where they're at, right? They could see it, and they could see this giant hunk of metal on top of it. They're like, give me the coordinates so we can shoot it. I'm like, how about this? You look out your fucking window, aim, and then shoot. Oh, but the pyramids, who cares? There's this giant metal on there. They just shoot it. Fucking terrible. Terrible.
There's a lot of things wrong with that film.
Yeah. And then I just found out the other day why they didn't get Megan Fox back, because apparently she slammed Michael Bay.
Yep, called him a Nazi.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, And then 3 I did not like. I think it's definitely the second best.
Is 3 Revenge of the Fallen?
No, 2 is Revenge of the Fallen.
And then Dark Side of the Moon, or whatever the fuck?
Dark of the Moon, or Dark Side of the Moon. And then 4 was the last one I saw, not counting Bumblebee. 4 was The Age of Extinction. Ass. Ass. I skipped out on 5.
Is that the one where like Transformers are like outlawed and like nobody's seen a Transformer in a long time?
I think 5. I know 5 is the one with like Merlin.
Mark Wahlberg finds one. Like,
oh, that's 4. Age of Extinction is where like Mark Wahlberg first shows up. And
isn't it filled with a bunch of American soldiers? Like the characters are like American soldier characters.
Peter.
That sounds like 4. I haven't watched 4 since it came out. We have it on DVD.
I know, me neither. And I was
so
like,
bad.
There's a lot of American flag shit going on in that film, and a lot of American soldiers.
Dorks Next Door said he left the theater early. I've only left the theator once. I forget what movie it was. Because I was in there for a half hour, and I was watching this. I'm just like, nah. Only once.
Oh yeah, Dorks Next Door said Bumblebee was the best Transformers movie by far.
Oh, dude, 100%.
I haven't seen it. Not interested, personally.
If you like 1, I think you'll love Bumblebee. It's actually,
I just don't like Bumblebee as a character. I don't need to like feel sorry for a robot and shit.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's fair.
I know what they're gonna do. Like, oh, Bumblebee, he's hurt. No, he's not. He's hurt. He's alive. Blah blah. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, the movie Rhino. Amazing Webhead said my favorite Rhino story is when he retired and got a wife. Another guy became Rhino to fight him. It's sad because Rhino had a choice of a second chance, but with his wife dead, he just blames Spider-Man. I'm not aware of that story. That sounds kind of cool though.
Yeah.
Dorks Next Door said I left the movie early with the last night.
Yeah,
the last night, the one with the dinosaurs.
No, that was Age of Extinction. That was 4.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, the last night was
together.
Dude, 5. I told you I didn't see this one. 5 was when they went like there was like time travel or some shit like that. I don't know where they
go back to like
it was like Merlin,
planet.
King Arthur, Nazis, some weird shit. It was like I saw that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I had my fill. And then I saw Bumblebee. I'm like, I'll watch that. And it was actually, for me, it was pretty decent. No, last night I was just like, I saw that. I'm like, nah. And those movies made all $1 billion, and I think 5 was like the only one that didn't make $1 billion. So
how in the fuck?
Because
people still go out to see that shit.
I don't know.
Transformers does better than Ninja Turtles? Since when?
I have no fucking... It's because one's about giant robots clanking and punching and slow-mo shots, and one...
Making this noise every 5 seconds.
And then there's obviously... one thing that the Transformers got that the Turtles don't? Racist stereotypes.
Oh shit, let's not even talk about those robots. Holy shit.
I remember, even in the theater as a kid...
The internet lost its mind.
I remember even as a kid, I was like this. I was like, this doesn't seem right. As a child, I'm like, I don't get it, but it just doesn't feel right.
Like, wait, I turned to my I think we were dating at the time still. My wife, but we were dating at the time. I turned to her and I looked at her. She looked at me too. I'm like, nah, he just blatantly like, oh no, he's blatantly racist. Nope, that's fucking clear as day. Like, are you supposed to be some jive turkey robots? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the? Like, that's blatantly racist. That's on purpose. Like, why did we have to give these robots human stereotypes? That's what I don't understand. Like, why did they have to fit any kind of human personality? They're robots from another planet. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, the whole movies are just a bunch of
and just a lot of screaming, and then Optimus Prime just disappearing half the movie. One of them, he dies.
Does
and I'm
he
like,
ever say that?
Autobots roll out. I think he said that in the first one.
Autobots transform?
No, it's Autobots roll out.
No, in the cartoon, I swear to God, he said Autobots transform.
I never watched the cartoon.
If you're a fan, in the comments, let me know. Yeah, so Dorks Next Door said apparently some Transformers were part of Arthur's Round Table. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's great.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's fucking great.
They were just chilling around with Lancelot and King Arthur and Maid Marian. They were like, all the knights for the Round Table.
It's Optimus Prime's fucking cousin. He's like, oh shit, I got hit. But no, that's fucking ass. Ass.
So how long have they been on Earth? I thought they just went to Earth in the first one with Shia LaBeouf screaming all over the place.
No, 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 no! No! It's literally fucking half the Transformers movies.
Yep. It's Tim's Bumblebee or Optimus or whatever, yeah.
Optimus!
Optimus! You were my brother, Optimus!
You were the chosen one, Bumblebee!
You were the chosen one, Witwicky.
You were sentenced to destroy the Decepticons, not join them.
Not join them. From my point of view, the Autobots are evil. Well, then you're lost.
It's fucking bad because I'm like, yeah, I can see Bay doing that. When Bay's on Transformers 6, he's running out of ideas. He's like, that would work, right? that sounds good.
We'll try this. Why not? If it's big enough and it makes that sound, we're good.
And then we do slow-mo booty shots, because why not?
Right.
It's fun too.
Oh, that's great.
Amazing Webhead said, "What did you guys think of Comic-Con Home? It sucked because none didn't excite me."
Apparently, fun fact, that it did so bad
I didn't even
that
know
it was down
That's how much I
95% of what they normally get when it comes to retweets. Retweets, fucking just people talking about it, down 95%. And one of the things that usually get like a million tweets about it only got like 10,000 tweets about it. They fucking blew it this year. It's not their fault. It's just because of COVID and shit. There was nothing they could do. Because you're not going to be like, yeah, let's get 100,000 people into one room while there's a pandemic going on.
Oh yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, there was no shot.
Even if they're all wearing masks, you know.
Even then, even the mask, with that many people, that's not going to happen. You're definitely going to contract something.
Right, and I honestly don't really give two turtle poops about Comic-Con. Not so much that I don't like this comic stuff. I love that stuff, but
it's just
I
like
wasn't
the thing itself.
Too bothered to, yeah. I just wasn't too bothered with it. It's on the list to kind of go to and check out.
Yeah.
But, Dorks Next Door said they mentioned in it the first 5 minutes and 20 minutes. The first 5 minutes and 20 minutes later, I left. Damn.
That's the last of them.
That's great, dude. That's fucking
Share your
great.
Comic-Con experiences with us because we did not experience the con. Angry Ninja said, speaking of movies, what did you think of What do you think of Quentin Tarantino films? For me, that's the easy. You know how I feel about Tarantino. I love him. Nobody writes better dialogue than Quentin Tarantino.
That I can 100% agree with. With Quentin Tarantino though, with his stories, they're usually like 50-50 with me, and it's probably because of it's a mood thing. Because I got to be in like a mood to watch a Quentin Tarantino film, and I probably just watch one of his films when I was not in that mood. But I love Django Unchained. I love Reservoir Dogs. I did not like Pulp Fiction.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that to see if it was just again. Certain movies you got to be in the mood to watch them. So I'm gonna try to rewatch that. And plus, it was years ago before I had. I want to say the quote unquote knowledge of filmmaking. I was just watching it as just a casual viewer at the time, and not as a critic. So maybe if I look back on it now, there's like a lot of shit that I missed or didn't really look at properly. But yeah, there's that. What other movies? I didn't see The Hateful Eight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What other movies he has? What's the vampire one? Dusk Till Dawn. I love that one. That's a pretty good one.
That's not a Tarantino movie.
Wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
No, it's not. He wrote it.
Okay, but it's not directed by him.
It, but no, it's not directed by him.
Okay.
Or he helped write the story or something like that. No, Robert Rodriguez, I think, directed that.
Okay. Oh jeez.
I love Tarantino films personally. I've seen them all. They're not without their flaws. Don't get me wrong. he gets a little too excessive with his language in some spots. I don't really care for that too much, but from an artistic point of view, with how he tells a story, his characters are compelling. I'm the same way. I'm very character-driven narrative when I create films. It means a lot to me to care about the characters and like them, you know, and make them interesting. He does really good with that. In the comments we got the Amazing Webhead said, I was bored to death watching The Last Night, but I stayed because my friend wanted me to. Others wanted me, and others to see. Dorks Next Door said, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is amazing. I agree. I've seen it 18 times, and yes, I know exactly how many times I've seen it. I love it. Amazing Webhead said, tried watching Pulp Fiction, gave up after the classic scene of the cheeseburger. Damn, you didn't stay very long. Pulp Fiction is one of the first.
It's like one of the first popular films to break the linear storytelling. And I feel like a lot of people gush over that movie just because it's different, not because it's actually... I'm not saying that it's not good. That's not what I'm saying, by far.
I just think it's cool. Like,
yeah, but I feel like a lot of people are just gushing over it because it's different. And they're like, it makes them feel smarter. Like, I think we talked about this before, but if there's something that's, like, quote-unquote popularized, and it's different, people think it's 10 times better because it makes them feel smarter. And that's why some people like the Joker, because it's not your stereotypical... you know, good guy versus bad guy comic book movie. So they overindulge.
So if you don't like the Joker, then you like boom boom shoot 'em up bang bang popcorn movies, which isn't true. I didn't like the Joker, and my reasons are because I wasn't impressed by it. The third act at the end was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the finale was pretty good. Like for a climax sense, it's just pretty good.
Right, but I have my reasons. I'm not going to say it's a bad film. But if you want to talk about cerebral films, like films that are gonna make you feel smart, it ain't gonna be the Joker. You know, you gotta watch American Psycho, and I want you to tell me who Paul.
Oh my
Allen
God, that's next. That's like the next movie on my list. That's funny you said that.
So I mean, when it comes to American Psycho, I want you to tell me if it was all in his head or not.
Yeah. Because like, the thing is with Joker,
that's a movie where, right, the Joker, you can't watch it different ways. It is what it is. With the movie like American Psycho, shit ton of open to interpretation that's all over the place. Saying a lot of things without saying it, too. So you have to kind of, you know what I mean? That's a cerebral film. When I say cerebral film, I think of a film that makes you think a little, you know?
Yeah.
And the Joker doesn't really make you think at all. Like, what the fuck? I didn't think.
It's just the quote unquote. It's the quote unquote
I want to see my
subtlety.
Joker violent. Right. I want to see my Joker violent, not giving a shit, being fucking cruel and laughing about it. I don't want to see him be like, oh, focus on me. Like, I don't care about the one bad day that turned him into the Joker. But let's just be honest with you. That's not the Joker. Why don't people just come out and say that? And why couldn't the film just be called Arthur? And maybe he doesn't dress like a clown. Maybe he dresses like something else. But the film would have been... If that film wasn't called Joker and was about some other guy, maybe he dresses differently. And I would have been like, dude, this is a really good film. But that you put Joker on it? Mm-mm.
How does it work?
Okay,
something to me.
Before we get into the comments, because I got something to say about that. The thing about the Joker, and the reason why a lot of people love it, because they're like the symbolism and stuff like that. The thing is, that quote-unquote symbolism is so in your face that a fucking toddler could pick it up. No offense, guys. I thought you were like, your IQ raised 10 points. Like, the whole fact that the cinematography is sloppy or whatever, and then it gets more comfortable and smooth as he slowly becomes the Joker. The colors pop. That shit is symbolism 101. That's symbolism 101.
Right.
Every filmmaker learns that in fucking high school. I learned that in high school. So that's not something new. Yeah,
it's not new.
It's not new.
Good filmmakers do that. You know, I'm not saying the DP isn't a good filmmaker. I'm just saying the film isn't what everyone's putting it out to be. It's not nothing fancy. It's nothing big. It's nothing spectacular.
Yeah.
It's not worth the hype. Yeah, he gives a good performance, but I think you could have got much more out of it. One, if you would have just totally sold it as an origin story for Joker, not with all the back shit behind it. Second, I think they force-fed Joker down somebody's throat. And I think this film wasn't necessarily supposed to be a Joker film, but they said, hey, can we make this into a Joker film if we put Gotham shit over the top of it? Then it would really sell. People would definitely go to see it now because it's not just it's not just Joaquin Phoenix playing some crazy dude who just goes off. He's playing the Joker. And someone in the board meeting went, holy shit, marketing! And then here we go. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise, and I'm sorry, but as a filmmaker, a screenwriter myself, who's been on every set I can, from big to small, work with these people, that script feels forced. There's elements in there that don't make sense, because if they were going, hey, clean slate everybody, welcome to the new film we're making the Joker, let's start off fresh. No. Then you would answer questions like, why the fuck is Bruce Wayne so young? Why is Joker so old? Blah, blah, blah this. What's his real name? Arthur, it's not even... Is his name even Arthur in the fucking movie? Because Arthur Fleck is the Killing Joke Joker, I think. But, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think that was the case. I think someone went and said, hey, this is a really cool script. It kind of reminds me of the Joker. Wait, what did you say, marketing guy? Oh, you can probably market this as the Joker film? Oh, yeah, dollar signs. There you go. You think that guy who created the Hangover movies and the one where the guys go back and start a fraternity, you know, and it's stupid movies, you think this guy was going home with a cerebral script going, God damn it, I'm a real artsy filmmaker, I just can't wait to make my masterpiece? No. Todd Phillips is not an artsy director. He's not Christopher fucking Nolan. Stop making him out to be.
You okay?
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. No, just checking up on you.
I just hijacked your goddamn stream. I forgot where I was. I apologize.
That's why I was checking up on you, because I'm like, wow, he's going in on it. I'll let him continue. But I just wanted to check up on you because I know you gotta take your heart medication. Don't forget. It's like, my God.
I apologize.
I agree with you for the most part. I agree with you for the most part. Like, Todd Phillips, I loved The Hangover. I know you weren't the fan of it. You thought it was stupid last time I checked. I liked the first Hangover. 2 was ass. 3 was decent.
I didn't think it was stupid, but I didn't think it was high art. I love for what it is. It's entertaining.
Yeah. And then, like, out of nowhere, he's just like, I'm an artsy director. I'm like, you did direct The Hangover. Let's not forget about that. Where a famous actor literally jumped out of the trunk of a car, butt-ass naked, and started beating 3 guys with a fucking crowbar. You're not exactly fucking, you know, Christopher Nolan. You're not Quentin Tarantino. You're not all these high tier directors. And then he directs one supposed cinematic masterpiece, supposedly, and now he's just got a fucking stick so far up his ass. Jesus.
Oh, he's an arrogant son of a bitch. He's been like that before that, though.
Yeah.
What's up, Katana? He's always been there. The chat.
Yeah, let me comment on a thing that happened like 5 minutes ago. So the whole thing with Webhead and Dorks Next Door, they brought up Citizen Kane and how Webhead said he didn't like it. He thought it was boring. The thing is with older films, especially now today, you look back at older films, there's nothing like
they're different.
Yeah, they're different, but they're like you got to look at them for like what as a learning experience. Like back then, they didn't have these teachings like what we know now, like the simple 3-story act. Right. Like that wasn't common back then. Like it was just
movies were long, and movies had subplots that didn't, you know, they just kept going. There weren't, it was learning experiences. Just that's what they were. They didn't have, like I said, the teachings or the knowledge how to make a tight, compact script, and they were just going off what they thought would make a compelling story. And at this point in time, I forget when Citizen Kane came out. Was that like the 40s? Like at that point, films were like babies. They were infants. Like I don't know, just like don't get me wrong. I agree with you though. Like when I watch older movies, when I try to watch them on a entertainment standpoint, they are fucking boring. But when I decided to change my perspective on them, I thought they were fucking interesting as shit. No, I'm right there with you, dude. I have to remind myself of the classics every once in a while. for multiple reasons. But I just watched and listened to a clip of an interview with Orson Welles, director of Citizen Kane, and he wasn't necessarily a film guy when he first started. He said, I was naive. I thought whatever I can see, I can do it with a camera, and I was lucky enough to meet a guy who agreed with me, and I never thought there was anything that I couldn't do with a camera, so I just did everything that I saw in my imagination, and that's how that's how he started making films. And they developed some of those techniques from Citizen Kane we all use to this day, but those were developed by a man just using his own creativity and saying, why can't you do this, or why not, pushing limitations and stuff like that. So that's what Citizen Kane is for me. If you just watch the film and see what they do with their transitions and title sequences and the way they shoot with the camera, a lot of people give it a lot of hate, and everyone's like, it's one of the best movies to hate. But there's a lot of people talk shit about, oh yeah, you like Citizen Kane, oh you're artsy fartsy, blah blah blah, or whatever. It's one of those films where everyone in the filmmaking group, everyone's, oh, Citizen Kane, and me, I'm like, yeah, Citizen Kane's good. And so it's one of those films to hate, but when you actually sit down and watch it, like it's very rare that, like, as a filmmaker, and you think this way too, probably, Gump, because you have that same kind of cinematic eye. There's very few films that make you inspired to make movies. You know what I mean? Have you ever watched a movie and you're like, damn, that was something different, that was something unique, that was cool, that was creative, that was outside the box. Oh shit, I didn't even know you could do that with them, tell that kind of a story, or tell it with that kind of camera, or use those kind of special effects. Citizen Kane was like the first one of those movies, like, oh, look what we can do once you push yourself to the limits, because before that, cameras were just on tripods, and it was like shot, reverse shot. And then Orson Welles comes around and says, well, we gotta do something with this fucking camera. Why can't we move the camera? Let's move the camera. Let's do these things. So, I'm done ranting.
You're good. Yeah, but like, you're right though, just then they didn't have these rules. Like, rule of thirds was not a thing. It was just guys saying, okay, what looks nice? Just imagine going up to somebody.
They applied basic photography rules to it at first, but when the camera moves and stuff, it becomes it's not two-dimensional anymore, it's three-dimensional.
Yeah, and it's different. It's different, and so if you want to learn how to think creatively, those older films are the way to go. But if you want to entertain yourself and you're bored, don't watch the older films. Just that's me being realistic. Just because they are longer, they can tend to be boring, because like you said,
some of them are really good long out dramas. Like if you're looking for something really like juicy or spicy or compelling that isn't a lot of flash, that gives you a lot of good acting. You know what's another thing, dude? The acting back then was just so top notch.
Oh yeah,
like these people were really acting their balls off. You know what I mean? It was such a, like you were saying before, a new field, a new art, and these were stage actors, and it's really cool to go back and listen to the way that they talk back then as well compared to how they talk now. I think films are awesome pieces of not just culture, but a time capsule into the past of what things used to be. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why stage actors tend to be better actors, because they A, remember their lines a lot better, and B, they're used to like acting in front of hundreds, if not, depending on the size of the stage, thousands of people. So they're like used to like that constant pressure. Now that they're allowed to make a mistake or two, right? And they have time to really process and think what they want to do. That's an advantage to them. So, but like back then, that's all they had. There was no actors. There's just people who played on front of a stage. It's just like all Shakespearean and shit.
Right, and before that, they were all silent.
Yeah.
Silent films. So, but also with stage acting, because I started off as a stage actor, and then when I did my first commercial as a child, that's when I realized they weren't the same. Like, commercial acting or film acting or video, whatever you want to call it, that medium of acting is a little different, a lot different actually than stage acting. Stage acting, you're trained to embellish your movements. You're trained to speak louder.
Yeah.
You're trained to overact a tiny bit because somebody in the back row, darkly lit, can barely see you, needs to be able to know what you're doing and how you're doing and how your character is perceived.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of this, I am over there when I should be over here. But you feel ridiculous, but that's how you're supposed to act.
Yeah, that's
when
when
you're in front of the camera, it picks up on every little thing, so you have to bring it down a notch. I had to learn to bring it down a notch. That was my problem.
Yeah, when I had to do stage acting once, we had to do we wrote a miniature version of Romeo and Juliet, and I had to play Romeo. It was definitely tough for me, and yeah, just taking that notch and bringing it up from what I'm used to is definitely an aspect you got to get used to. But it's like, if you're talented, like I believe that there's some people who are naturally gifted, but it's like everything can be taught in film and entertainment. That's how I feel. Like everything can be taught, but some people are just got the keen eye or the keen brain, if you will, for these certain things. Back then,
yeah, but you develop that when as you go, you figure. Yeah.
But back then, there was no learning because where do you learn from? So it's just it's pure talent back then. There was not like one person saying, "Let me just pretend to be myself," like like Kevin Hart or like Dwayne Johnson who just plays himself. Yeah, like we got all these character actors, if you will. Not character actors. What's that term? Where like someone's just literally playing themselves. Because Robert Downey Jr. basically did that with Iron Man. Everyone's like, give him an Oscar for playing Iron Man. Like he's playing himself though. So is that really acting? Like same thing with
yes and no. Yeah, I would say it's acting, but you're acting like yourself.
So like, does that deserve an Oscar? Involved. Like that's the question.
No, he didn't win. He never won an Oscar.
No, I'm just saying like people were bitching to give him an Oscar. Like, because he died in the movie, he deserves an Oscar. I'm like, no.
And even Robert Downey Jr. would tell you he doesn't deserve an Oscar for playing Tony Stark.
Yeah. This guy,
he's done some really good roles, though. You guys, he doesn't.
No, I'm just saying, like, he pretends to, like, that's his shtick. Like, I got a big ego.
Because he used to. Like, you guys got to do your homework on RDJ. Like, for real. Like, his drug problem, his substance abuse, his arrest, him getting a second chance from Hollywood and then him not squandering it, fucking his life up. It could have gone south for him a couple times, really bad. The guy turned around. He's like at first I thought he was a pretentious douchebag, alcoholic asshole. But he's redeemed himself on many levels. Like, I have nothing but respect for the guy, and he's done some really Oscar-worthy shit, but Tony Stark is not one of them. Sorry.
Yeah, just because it's not because of explosions either. A lot of people, there's two sides of the spectrum. One side's like, oh, if it's a CGI superhero fest, they don't deserve an actor like an Oscar. I'm like, that's not true. And the other side is, because he dedicated his life to this role and he acted in a scene where he died, he should get an Oscar. People let their emotions of a character get to the better of them. Just I'll tell you who deserved an Oscar for having playing a character who
Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. He played the role for so long, and it's not because he had
an Oscar for playing the role for so long, though, guys. There's no participation trophies. You blow us away with one performance in one film a year, and we'll consider it. You don't get an Oscar because you played the role for that long. You should be so lucky. And I tell you what, I was a former actor, and my friends are still acting. They would only dream to have a job for that long.
I mean,
they don't even understand that 90% of these things that get made in Hollywood don't get second chances, and people go right back to starting over every single day. So you trying to tell me, yeah, it's cool and all, but it doesn't deserve an Oscar.
Patrick Stewart was really good in that movie. I believed him to be like this really pretty much a sad sack of shit. That's the best way to really look at it.
I felt so bad for Professor Xavier. That's how he went. That's how he went down. That's how the man, like, he was like in the first X-Men film, who was stoic in his chair, so confident, and then he goes down living in a fucking metal tube in the fucking desert, and then he dies by the hand of
what he believed to be someone he loved. So his last thought was, I just got killed by the guy I raised,
What's
basically.
more tragic? What happened to fucking Professor X, or what happened to Logan?
I think Professor X.
Tragic?
I think Logan, because Professor X, because Logan went out and he got to go out in the sense
Logan
of
went
like
out the way he wanted to go out.
Yeah, he wanted to die, and he died doing the last mission. It was like one last hurrah, one last mission, and he got to see that mission through. Professor X basically got fucked over. He just like, okay, you're dead now, and so the last thoughts on his mind were, I killed the entire mutant race, the thing I swore to protect, and I think I got killed by the guy that was raising me and helping me change my diapers and shit like that. That's his last thought. That guy, like, it fucking sucked.
Yeah, from his point of view, absolutely. And then the fucking family. Did the fucking family have to die?
That was
for real.
That
did
hurt.
The fucking family have? I'm not saying it from a bad point of view. That's great storytelling. What happened with the family? That's brilliant. It got us in. We cared, and then they killed them. They got us in. We cared. They ripped their heart out. Perfect emotional impact. I love it. But as a movie-going fan, oh my god, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, like I feel like that's good. You know, I don't know what the term is, but I'm gonna call it bait for now. Like, there's always like a character set up to die, and 95% of the time it's fucking visible. Like, you can tell they're just set up to be killed.
I'm gonna be honest, right? Yeah, I didn't see it coming. Did you?
Yeah, you know why? Because we're already in a dreaded world, and we as a viewer are looking for one positive thing to get attached to, and we finally got something. It's so attached to the point that we as a viewer, even me and Chris, would not see the fact that these people were probably just set up as bait to get killed.
No, and then I thought that run-in with the water pump dudes, I was like, okay, here's how they're gonna ruin the love moment, and that went away, and so my guard was even down lower, because I was like, oh, that's that you know, where he protects the dad and shit. I was like, oh, that's probably the world's still fucked up moment in this whole thing. But then Professor X is talking to him, and I'm like, it's like the best night I've ever had in a long time. I'm like, no, what's going on? Oh shit, no! And I'm like, no! I'm sitting there just
so
I move up in my seat, and I'm like, they're gonna kill him, and then they killed the whole family. I was like, that's not necessary.
That's so fucked, bro.
Stop it, X, whatever your name is. Stop it, Bald Wolverine. No. Stop killing everybody. Stop it.
It was really bad.
And then they got the pale dude. I forget his name. Chameleon dude. Where the hell his name was?
Yeah, I forget his name, but like the very soft-spoken guy.
Yeah. And they got him too with the grenade. He like sacrificed himself, and I was like, oh man, Logan was some fucked up shit, bro.
Yeah, it made you care.
You know what I mean? I've seen the movie twice, and I know it that well, because it's so good that I don't even really want to go back and watch all of it again, because I know my heart's gonna get ripped out. And like, I have a sensitive side for like the whole story with X-23 and stuff, you know. So I mean, it's like it's just a great. I mean, that's just a really good film.
So I thought I talked this to you, but it was actually with my friend Paul. The whole thing with where he said, "So that's what it feels like." What did you think that meant?
What do you mean?
What was he interpreting? So that's what it feels like when Logan was taking his last breath. Yeah, okay, that's what I said. But apparently, that's what he thought as well, right? This guy that I gamed with my PUBG videos in, he's like, that's what I saw, and that's what I thought. But his friends and everyone he knows thought it was like, so that's what it feels to love. I'm like, who the fuck thought that? Apparently, all his friends.
You dumb beavers.
Like, he clearly loved before, and he doesn't love X-23. He doesn't. Like, he respects her now. But there's not one point in that movie where he's like, I love you. And if that was the case, and that's what it was supposed to set up, and that was what it's supposed to mean,
They did a bad job of it.
they
but that
did a
wasn't what it
fucking
was
horrible
supposed to
job
be.
at that. So I refuse to believe that's what it was, because it led up to the only thing that tells me that it's not death is because he technically died before in the Wolverine. That's the only time he actually felt death.
When did he technically die?
Like that little thing in his heart, and his heart basically stopped for a little bit, so he technically died.
When he got the adamantium?
No, in the Wolverine, like in the future, the Silver Samurai shit.
Oh, I've only seen that one once.
Yeah, but like he technically died there, but the thing is, he was still in his prime. That's why I would say to defend that. Like, he was still in his prime. There was always a way. He knew there was something that was doing that to him. But in this case, there was no coming back. There's nothing. It's not something something outsourcing doing that to him. It was his literal body killing him. So there was no getting back from that.
That really sucks. Like the way he went out, like the adamantium,
yeah.
The metal is killing him from the inside out.
Yeah.
And you know what sucks is that's X-23's fate as well.
Yeah.
And with her healing factor, she should never grow older either, because your cells have to degrade and then renew. And if she's always regenerating her cells, then she would never actually, Wolverine was a kid and he grew up. But technically, if you have that ability, you shouldn't be able to age. But whatever, it's a movie. It's
a comic book about a guy who's got claws coming out of his fucking hands.
Right, we're gonna worry about but which I love Bone Claw Wolverine, by the way.
Yeah, but that movie was ass.
I know.
Yo, Webhead, if you want to know how I thought about it, you should watch the review. It was, spoiler alert, it was ass. Fucking hell. Jason X. So terrible, bro. Ass. I'm looking forward to next week's review, Superman 3, which I found out like how little Superman's in it, and I'm like, okay, so people hate 4, but no one ever brings up 5. Fuck! People shit on 4, but never bring up 3.
Because Superman 3's dumb.
I'd never seen it before.
Superman 3, I forget what.
It's about like a tech
4.
guy, and I'm like, this sounds fucking boring. And then I saw Mr. Sunday Movies talking about it a handful of times, and he's like, yeah, it's fucking worse than the 4th. Yeah, dude. I subscribed to them because of Nico. He's like, you should watch these guys, and I watch them. And I've been binging them the past couple of weeks, just watching all their shit. And he brought up Superman 3 a handful of times. He brought Superman 3 up a handful of times. He's like, it's fucking worse than the 4th. And I'm like, based on the concept alone, I could see why. Like, 4 is dumb, but at least it's got Superman in it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But like, it's about a tech guy, and that's literally it. I'm like, that's not even a Superman villain.
It's not about a tech guy either.
Oh Jesus! I'm gonna get my pillow and blanket.
This computer hacker guy just figures out a way to steal money from a bank, and Lex Luthor hires him to like create this super computer program thing, and do something with nuclear weapons or some shit. And there's a video game in it where they're trying to shoot Superman down with rockets, but it goes to a screen of like a video game of them trying to do it. That's pretty funny. Not funny. I mean, it's fucking bad, but
it's funny bad. Oh fuck! I should.
So like Lex Luthor's like sister or something or somebody has to like she merges with the fucking computer and becomes like a female-looking Brainiac from the CW.
No. Stop.
And Superman has to like stop her. I'm not even joking.
No.
And it's horrific because she's blood-curdling screaming while the computer components are going on her, and her eyes go green and shit, and her hair gets all crazy, and it's just fucking nuts. She comes walking out, and Superman has to destroy her with his heat vision, I think. I don't remember.
It's ass.
Richard Pryor's in it.
No.
As a computer hacker, dude, if you know what that is.
No, I've seen, every time I look up Superman 3, it's just him holding a suitcase or some shit like that. That's literally, every time I look up Superman 3 images, it's just that guy.
And
I'm like wow.
He's like a huge fan of Superman, and he's always making wisecracks.
Yeah, that's terrible. No, but like, speaking of the original Superman movies, so when I recently saw Superman, the original Superman, the movie, I tried to watch it on an entertainment value. Instantly, was not super entertained. I love it for its technical aspect of what it did for the time, but movie as a film critic, it's not a good movie, and I'll tell you why. One reason why, because there's no real plot to the movie. It's just Superman going around saving people at random for the second half of the movie. The first half of the movie is his origin story, him as a kid, and then the final act of the movie is like, oh yeah, Lex Luthor's in this movie, and he wants to buy land and sell it for extremely high prices. Wow. I get why at the time, I understand why there's no beat 'em up plots or stuff like that, so I get that, but come on. I understand, but looking at it as a film, I see why people love it. So it's not one of those things where I'm like, why the fuck do you guys like this shitty movie? It's not like that. It's not shitty either. It's just, on a story aspect, I wasn't a fan of it. On a, like, technical level, it's incredible what they were able to do.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, too. I was going to make a mini review on it, and I'm like, no, people are just gonna bitch and complain because if you have a different opinion than them, and you shit on a fucking classic, even I'm not shitting on it either. I'm like, I understand why people love it, and all this other shit. It's just, but it's not this great fucking story that changes cinema. Like all they really did that changed cinema forever was the fact that they made a green screen, because blue screens came out first.
Yes, but they couldn't do a blue screen because of the fucking...
Yeah, and suit.
Even Superman's suit was not fully blue.
Yeah.
If you look at it up close.
It's more like a... I'm not fancy with my colors and my color terminology. It's like a blue with a hint of green in there. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Like, I'm not sure if it's the terms beige or like turquoise. Like, it's one of them. It's fucking ass. Like the color, not the suit. I like for the suit. People want it. Man of Steel to have that suit. I'm like, tonally wise, it makes no sense. And everyone's like, just have the underwear on the outside. I'm like, why the fuck are you guys obsessed with underwear on the outside? Because it's a Superman classic. Fun fact: adapting things 100% from comic book to movies doesn't work all the time, boys and girls.
Not for the tone. If it was supposed to be stupid, lighthearted and campy, and sure, go ahead, put the underwear. Zack said it himself. He tried 1,000 versions with the underwear, and it just didn't feel right for his version. And I agree, it looks dumb.
Like,
I don't like them in their underwear. I really don't.
It's just.
I think it's just.
It's dumb. It's
Hold
dumb.
on, let me put on my panties before I. It's just. Nobody now would ever do that. Maybe in the 30s, strongman era, making them look, strong, and that's what they did with their trunks, I guess. That's all it was. So, I mean, for me, it doesn't make. I don't care. Now that they got the new Superman coming out, the animated series, he's wearing like boxer shorts, not jockeys anymore. So he's got like boxer shorts on instead of like tighty whitey.
Yeah.
So it's like he's wearing swim trunks.
Yeah, it's the suit's got to match the tone. It just has to, and people are too obsessed with how things look in the comics and how they grew up with it. I'm like, there's interpretations of everything. Like, look at the Spider-Man suit, by the way. Guess what? Not once did it look like this in the comics. But now, out of nowhere, all the Spider-Man fanboys who were shitting on this game before it came out, now, like, jerk off to the suit. It's like, this is the best suit ever. I'm like, but before, you guys were complaining that it wasn't comic book accurate. So it's just pick and choose your fights, and people aren't
Right.
consistent. Just like, in my opinion, this suit's fucking dope. It just looks
It's because
dope,
they're not
dope.
making. They're just making emotional decisions. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why they can't say, "Wait, I'm a hypocrite if I like this and don't like that." Nah, I can like this and like that, but you have to like everything I like, or you're a fucking asshole. What?
Yeah.
You can change your opinions, but I can't not like what you like. What
Like,
the
yeah,
fuck is wrong?
it's stupid. It's stupid. Like, obviously, there's going to be certain cases where they make adaptations to a suit and it looks ass, but it's not because they made an adaptation. It's just because they just made an ass suit. That's pretty much it. It's not because they took liberties on the comic book version. Like, I don't know. Just there's certain suits that are never going to work. Like, people wanted the Wolverine costume. Imagine Hugh Jackman running in yellow spandex with pointy ears and shit like that. That did not fit the tone of what they had set up. It just didn't. Would it be dope?
No.
I think it would have been pretty cool. But in the movies, no. It just doesn't work. Because the comic books are... I'm just like, no, stop.
But the comics. He was 5'4" in the comics.
Yeah. People don't want to acknowledge that they were probably one of the haters that hated on Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. To be fair, they're like, you probably were like that too. I'm like, dude, I was what? The first one came out 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
I was probably like 2 or 3 at the time. So no, I didn't care.
I was 18. I was 17 when it came out, and I was a big fan of the comics. Had the trading cards, watched the animated series, and when I fucking saw the film, I was a little pissed off that it didn't have anything to do with the animated series. I was like, what the hell? How can this not be like the animated series? What else could they be doing? And that was my first real experience with trying to make a superhero film with a bunch of colors and shit, grounded in reality before. And then 5 years later, we got Batman Begins, where he took it to the extreme.
Yeah.
And then Zack started doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I was really pissed off. I was like, that Wolverine? That's some tall dude. Like, who the hell is that? And like, I didn't, the first couple times I watched the movie, I didn't even know that there's little yellow pinstripes on his black motorcycle suit. To, as an homage to his regular suit. But I just didn't like him. I didn't like them all in one black uniform. I love the X-Men because they had the same logo, but all their suits were different. That was really cool for me. So all the elements that I really liked about the X-Men weren't in the film. I was like, this blows. Fuck it. I didn't like it. I really didn't. I really didn't like any of the original X-Men films. I still kind of don't. I just feel like it's an Elseworld kind of thing for me. It's not my Marvel, really.
Yeah, like the original X-Men movies, they get a lot of love for being these great films and top 10 comic book movies. I watch them, I'm like, I don't know. I don't get that vibe.
They got cool moments mixed in it, but the whole movies are kind of boring.
I don't know. It's just like
I'm telling you, at the time too. Like, I didn't even enjoy them when they first. I saw them in the theaters. You gotta bet your ass I did. But I mean, in the movies, I was like, this is how we're gonna do mutants. Like, I don't know. I didn't fall in love with the characters like I did as a kid.
Yeah, they definitely butchered Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops wasn't right.
Rogue. Everyone loves Rogue.
Rogue wasn't right at all, so I was pissed about that. The uniforms, I didn't like the uniforms. I didn't like the fact that Hugh Jackman didn't look like Wolverine.
But everyone got over that pretty quickly.
Yeah, we did actually. He embraced it and did a really fantastic job with that role. But at first, I didn't like it. I don't think I really started appreciating his role until probably.
Well, that isn't spooky at all.
Probably an old bootlegger's tunnel.
Do I even want to say it? Probably Days of Future Past.
Really, that late?
Because for me, it was like, yeah, he's a shining star in a shit franchise, no big deal. And then it slowly started to become yeah, he is the only thing that people really like about those X-Men films anyway, or he wouldn't be the only one getting his fucking
Okay, that definitely
his
wasn't
own
something.
shows. But I don't know. I love him now, but at first, no. I didn't really start to appreciate it until I was older.
I just hated how they try to make Mystique the new Wolverine, the face of the franchise. That was a dumb decision. Because you got Jennifer Lawrence, the person who would bitch on set saying, I don't want to sit in a makeup chair for X amount of hours, then don't sign on for the character.
Got empty crates here.
Yeah,
And it looks
but she
like
signed
these
on
are
for
the
3
ones they didn't
movies,
clean
so.
out.
Shit. And she,
Fenced off
everyone's
I
like,
think so.
Jennifer
3 or
Lawrence,
4.
top tier actress. And I'm like, okay. And I would just point to these movies. Just like, they were phoned in as hell, bro.
First
Like her-
Class wasn't.
Her First Class was pretty good. And it makes sense why she wasn't in her makeup half the time on that movie. And then she went through her arc saying, like, you gotta be who you are and love who you are. And then she continues to hide who she is. I'm like, so you had this great character arc and you just threw it out the window.
Take both of us.
Because your actress didn't want to be in the makeup.
Some of these.
Terrible. Terrible. And that wasn't even Mystique either.
Recast.
Yeah, at that point, fucking recast. Like, because
She's
it's
a
under the
shapeshifter.
Bumblebee.
You could have done a lot of things with her. She could have still looked like Mystique as a mutant, but when she comes back to human form, you can write in, this is simple. You can just say, I've chosen this form now.
Yeah, it just...
She can change into anybody. Who gives a fuck what she looks like? Recast.
Yeah, like, people...
But no,
like,
but no.
like, have this firm belief that people and actors sell tickets. Not anymore. That's not the case anymore. I mean, look at Dwayne Johnson's Skyscraper. Raise your hand if you saw that movie. That's right, none of you did. And if one of you says you did, you're a lying sack of shit if you said you saw that in theaters. Because
No,
that made
I didn't
no
see
money.
It I didn't see it. I didn't see it in theaters, but I did sell the 7 Seas to watch it, and when I had my channel, and I reviewed it.
How bad was it?
Ass. It was exactly it's as bad as you think it is.
Yeah, which
It's
is
so
pretty
bad I
bad.
can't even remember half of it. It was cliche as fuck, CGI'd out the wazoo.
Yep.
Typical. It's a very typical Dwayne the Rock Johnson movie. And you know what sucks about The Rock? He's a really good actor, but he hasn't acted in anything good, and I can't remember the last time.
Just
Fast and the Furious. Fuck you. He's just Joe Jock dude with a gun. Like,
dude,
I've
did you
seen him,
hear
like,
the shit behind the scenes about the contracts? About they only are allowed to have certain amount of hits, and they got to make it look even. And they did math and shit like that to see who's getting their asses kicked in the fight.
Jesus, no, I didn't. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, so the fight between Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel, they were calculating to keep that fight even, and that's why when Vin Diesel pummels Dwayne Johnson to a wall, literally seconds later, Dwayne Johnson does the same thing to Vin Diesel. That's in Fast 5. It's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic. I defend The Rock a lot, but I can't, like, the fact that he was on board with that kind of shit. Keep it in your fucking pants. Your testosterone is fine, dude. Dwayne Johnson, you're literally twice the size of Vin Diesel. Who fucking cares if he kicks your ass in a film? You could say you could kick his ass in real life.
No offense, you're bigger, but you're a better star too. So, like, no offense, Vin Diesel hasn't been relative since 2002. So let's fucking be real here. Like, he's not a mega star like Dwayne is. So what is he worried about?
And it's
of a
with all
sudden,
the other actors.
Vin Diesel's gonna come out of nowhere and be this big mega star at 40, 50 years old?
I don't know.
Ego, bro.
That franchise and that entire cast has an ego. Like, dude, what's his face even has an ego? The loud, obnoxious one. We all know who I'm talking about.
No, I don't. 'Cause I haven't
The
seen
bald
him.
guy. That's like,
Oh, the
yeah,
black dude?
yeah, all the time. He's so loud. He's obnoxious. He's not the best driver. He's supposed to be the comedic relief.
Oh, Tyrese Gibson.
Tyrese Gibson. What a fucking shit show with that guy. He literally
Sometimes
threw a
he's
bitch
funny
fit.
though. Sometimes.
He's a bitch fit on
Like,
all over
oh,
social
here
media
he
because
comes,
Hobbs
hiding
and
your baby
Shaw.
oil. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny, but like he's got this ego
Oh,
saying
you
that like,
better
how
not
dare
get
you
forehead.
release Hobbs and Shaw? How dare you release Hobbs and Shaw before a Fast and Furious 9? That was his thing, and like he threw a huge Twitter fit about it. And apparently Dwayne Johnson was gonna. Yeah, that's and it's like bitch. I'm like, dude, you do absolutely nothing in those movies except for yell and scream. So you got an easy paycheck. The fact that you're worried about a job tells me that you're wasting your money like a fucking idiot.
And to be fair, he was a friend of Brian's to begin with, and Brian's not around anymore. So, like, they just all of a sudden bonded with this guy. Has anybody not seen Too Fast, Too Furious?
That was ass.
Does anyone not
movie.
know? Does anybody not know who this guy is? Like,
he's only friends with the rapper now. I don't even know these character names. They're just the rapper, the loud guy.
Right, Ludacris, right.
You got Vin Diesel bromance, and then now Statham's in the mix.
Like, the first one was cool. Like, I was down if it was just a one-off film.
I mean, that felt like a Point Break ripoff, though.
I know, but it was cool. It hit a tone for me. You know, I had a friend who was really into cars, and he had a Mitsubishi Eclipse that was tricked out, just like the one in the movie. So, and he would street race it, not kidding. So, and he talked about it all the time, and he would take me racing with him and shit, and it was really cool. I just thought it was just a cool, fun movie. I didn't think twice about it. I didn't think it was going to spawn 9, 10 movies. Jesus Christ.
Dude.
The director's in the first one, too. Did you know that?
Wait, what?
The director makes a cameo. In the first Fast and the Furious, the director makes a cameo. He's the pizza delivery guy.
Oh, shit. Nice.
He tells the kids, goddamn street racing punks or some shit like that.
Like,
and it was really cool. It had cool music.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Paul Walker was, you know, was a fun character, a cool dude to watch, you know.
Fun fact, Paul Walker was actually, he was up to play Spider-Man.
Was he?
Yeah, he was, other than Leonardo DiCaprio, under him was, I believe, Paul Walker. And, they went with Tobey Maguire. And the fun fact about Tobey Maguire, no one liked him on set.
Because Tobey's an asshole.
Yeah, and people are like, yeah, Tobey's the best. I'm like, I've never heard one good story on set with him. Like, Joe Manganiello, the guy who was supposed to play Deathstroke, fucking pissed that he got screwed over in that end. Wow, he looked like he looked like a great Deathstroke. But anyway, he was in the original Spider-Man movie, and he was the bully that was in that fight at the school with Peter. And one of the camera crew, not the director, but just random people like the camera crew, asked him, they'd like give you $100 if you actually punch him in the face and make it look like an accident. And he didn't do it because he said, I'm afraid that I will never get another job again if I do it. But
damn,
people hated him that much. And the director apparently showed some dissatisfaction on set. And they were trying to pull pranks on him on set because they just did not like him. I'm like, wow. People do not like him. And, yeah, just surprised that he kept that role. If you didn't like him that much, I wouldn't have hired him.
Well, I think Sam Raimi made a choice, and like, they did try to replace him when he hurt his back.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the guy who played Mysterio, Jake Gyllenhaal. It was supposed to be Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, and then when he found out he was going to get replaced, he's like, I'm fine. I'm good. That's crazy. Imagine a world where Jake Gyllenhaal was Spider-Man. Holy shit.
Right, in Spider-Man 3, or was it
2?
2. Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
And it's funny because the scene where he like busts his back up, that was in the movie.
Right, ow, my back!
That was not a direct jab at him. That was actually done after he hurt his back, but that was like around the same time he hurt his back, and that was already in the movie. So it's that's a little coincidence. And you know where I learned all this information from? Mr. Sunday Movies.
Oh, really? That wasn't added? I thought that was in to make fun of my back.
No, it kind of it was probably gonna get cut maybe, but they're like, yeah, no, we're keeping it now. My back. My freaking back! Ew!
They get my back! I hurt my back!
Jesus
I
Christ.
hurt my back.
When you read, you just go, never mind. So you're in this never-ending cycle of just reading. Just you're trying so hard, but you just get hurt somewhere. Oh man, but dude, imagine that we actually got the fourth one and we got Vulture, because that's what he wanted to go for.
That'd been cool.
Yeah.
I wonder where he would have.
Yeah, they said it was going to be like a suit, but it wouldn't have been like a full-on Iron Man suit like we got in whatchamacallit, Far From Home. No, the other one, Homecoming. The one with the home in the title. No, but like I think that would have been really interesting to say. You know, back at this point in time, when I thought there was going to be a fourth movie coming out, my source of movie news was Wikipedia, so you can imagine how accurate the information I was getting.
Jesus.
It was so that was around 2010.
I'm headed there now.
Now my source of movie news is a channel called John Campia. That's where I get most of my movie news from. And I can't go through there. That's right, I gotta go through here. No, but so I found John Campia when Man of Steel was coming out. So I wanted to get more information on that. So I was like, Man of Steel news, blah, 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 blah. Went through YouTube, and then I just found John Campia, and I've been watching him since. So I've been watching him since 2013. And I think he's a pretty solid journalist, and he just gives me the news, and I'm like, oh, okay. Don't always agree with him, or what he says, or what he does, but he's a human being, so we're not going to be like these magnetic people that just agree on the same thing all the time. Because that would be fucking boring to watch. I don't get why people feel like they gotta watch someone who only agrees with them 100% of the time. That's fucking boring. Like he likes Suicide Squad. He doesn't love it, but he likes it. I'm like, you're wrong, but okay. He likes BBS. I said you're wrong, but okay.
BBS isn't that bad. Suicide Squad, yes. BBS,
yes. I don't like. Even after watching. Finally watched the Ultimate Edition, by the way, guys. I finally watched the Ultimate Edition. Still hate it. You know what the Ultimate Edition did for me? Okay, fixed the plot hole with Superman. Cool. Still sucks.
What?
Yep. Still did not like it at all. Still thought it was a piece of garbage. Because guess what? My main complaints are still there. You know what my main complaints were? Lex Luthor. Batman being a fucking idiot and letting Lex Luthor manipulate him like a fucking dog. Like, come on. Come on. World's greatest detective, and yet you can't detect for one shit. And then, you know, the Martha scene's still there. Doomsday's still there. Wonder Woman's still there. So my biggest problems are still there. All he did was fix a few plot holes, and the plot holes weren't not my problem.
I have defended that movie for too long. I don't even know where to start.
Just don't defend it, because you're not going to change my mind.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Man,
I like it, and I'm okay with the fact that I like it. I mean, I get it.
I'm glad you like it. I'm just sad I didn't.
Also get your point of view. See, that's a lot. What I just said is something people need to start doing. Like, yeah. I like the film, but I'm not going to be like, I love it to the point I'm blinded by its faults. I'm not. I understand what you're saying. For me, they weren't as big of an issue.
Yeah, like there's gonna be times where like people like know there's a problem, or they just don't care enough because you're so invested in the story. Yeah,
the whole Batman and Superman hating each other thing wasn't sold properly for me.
Yeah. Like that shit writes itself. Like, come on. It's like you said earlier in the stream. It's yin and yang. You don't have to give a third party to hate each other. They can just pin them together with like no like past experience or like knowing of each other's existence. They're not going to get along.
Right. They're two different. They should have been more about convincing Batman that Superman's bad instead of the subplot of convincing the world that Superman's bad. But spoiler alert, Lex is behind all of it.
Yeah, I think they should have left Lex out of the picture.
Yes, no Lex. The villains should have been each other.
Yeah, it's like
in
the
each
conflict
eyes,
is.
They shouldn't have been the villain. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
like
would've been
that would have
something
been
I could
unique.
understand.
That's a unique superhero movie because there's no real bad guy. It's just
No.
two heroes looking at each other like they're the villains. That's freaking interesting as shit. But
That's
no,
what it should have been.
yeah,
It's
but
what
no,
it
they
should've been.
have to shove in
It's what it
Rush
was
to the
sold.
Justice League and all this other shit.
Right. We didn't need the whole subplot with Lex Luthor. We didn't need anybody pulling. Maybe Lex could have showed up at the end or in a small role, setting him up for the next film. But it should have been ideals versus ideals. Superman wanting to thinking that his tactics are brutal and harmful and against, you know, American justice and stuff like that, and Batman being unsure of this guy's loyalties. What is he gonna do? What happens if he goes rogue? And they interfere with each other a couple times, and they have a big drag-out fight, and then, you know, like maybe then Lex Luthor comes out and says, "Okay, I wanted to distract you guys." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, I didn't want to. Like, maybe he didn't say I wanted to distract you guys, but you know, what he did, all Lex did was get him in the same room together, basically, and start the fight, and then step back and let shit happen on his own. Not having Lex involved in every little tiny detail, and it's like, oh, he pulled the strings on every little fucking thing. It's Lex this, Lex that.
Yeah,
It irked me. I would have loved to have seen maybe at the end Doomsday showed up and like, who the fuck is this asshole? And then they have to come together, fight Doomsday, and learn to get along with each other, and then realize that Lex Luthor is a threat that they both can get behind, so they become allies. But
Yeah.
Batman's always weary of him. When they find out, like, there should have been a moment like that, but in the film, after like they took him out with kryptonite, and Superman didn't die in my version, doesn't die, but at the end of the fight, Batman picks up the kryptonite spear and takes it with him, just in case. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Shit like that would have been cool, because Batman don't trust nobody, motherfucker. That's why he's Batman. That's why he's been alive, given all the situations he's been in.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't trust anybody.
I want to see more Batman and Superman solo content. Just the two of them, because I think they play
Yeah,
off
me
well
too.
each other. I don't want to just see them in the Justice League together. I want to see like more like duality of the yin and yang, because they are the most iconic superheroes ever. And right under them is Spiderman. It's just, why don't we get more of just Superman and Batman? Why do you have to shove in Lex Luthor? Why do you have to shove in Wonder Woman? The Rush to the Justice League. Why do you have to shove in Doomsday? I feel like they would have worked on their own. And then on top of that, you're shoving in the fact that there's the death of Superman. What the hell are you doing?
Right. Too much.
Too much. Like when Superman and Batman in a film alone would have just been plenty of time to fill in a
And
2.5
then
hour
fighting
gap.
Doomsday together, or finding. I don't know. It
Yeah,
would've
there
a
should
lot
have been
better
two
than what we
fights.
got.
There should have been two fights where Superman wins the first one, then Batman being Batman, Batman comes in, strategizes, finds out his
Prepared
weakness.
as
Not
fuck.
not because fucking Lex Luthor tells him, like, oh yeah, by the way, his weakness
Because he
is
does
his.
some detective work.
Yeah,
and
imagine
figures out the
Batman doing
Kryptonian.
yeah, just imagine him
Right.
doing detective work in a live action movie. I'd never seen
Go
it before.
figure.
Yeah, go figure. World's greatest detective doing detective work, but he finds out. He's like, wow, this guy is weak against his own home planet, Kryptonite. Well, let me see how I can weaponize this shit. And then that's how he beats him in the second fight. Because that BVS fight was just Batman beating the living shit out of Batman. God damn it. Fuck. Stroke. Breathe. It's just Batman kicking the shit out of Superman.
Find something. I need to look harder.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
And as much as Batman, Batman crosses the line a little bit in the film.
A little bit, he
more
says.
So that,
I'll let Yuri know to pick it up.
more so than any other Batman ever did. His willingness to just outright kill Superman is just very un-Batman characteristic for me. His willingness to think him of as a threat and be prepared for him if he does go rogue, very Batman. But to kill him before he goes rogue, like a preemptive strike, like you hear that Russia's arming their missiles, so we just launch 8 of them at him real quick before they can get their missiles launched because we can't take the risk if that's a threat.
In the evidence lockup, right?
So before they even show that they're even arming them towards us, we're just gonna nuke you because you touched your nukes. So
Yeah.
that's what his plan was. He was thinking, okay, we can't give him a chance to become bad because if we do, it'll be too late. We need to kill him now. Batman wouldn't necessarily do that, I don't think. But there's the thing about Batman: he's been around for 80 something years. He's open to He's been written a lot of ways, open to interpretation a lot of ways.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
My
Yeah.
Batman may
It's been a
not be the
hard
same
day.
as your
All
Batman.
those funding at the lab.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like my Batman wouldn't do something like that. But my Superman would have definitely snapped Zod's neck. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. I agree on that. But just like, I don't know. Just again, that's a key definition of studio interference. Should have been just a man.
It
But
should have been. Then they
yeah,
forced
but
Batman in there. Yeah.
yeah, for the longest time it was Man of Steel 2, and then Avengers happened. They're like, wow, maybe. And the fact is, Avengers came out a year before Man of Steel, but they didn't change the plan
Container 'cause it's leaking
until
from the top.
I want to say 2014, a year after Man of Steel,
It just happened.
because they're like, okay, people don't like Man of Steel, so let's change it to
Robots are still just
let's change it
Was
to
it?
BVS.
Yeah, because originally it was supposed to come out in 2015.
Yeah, it was BVS was originally slated
So
to come out
they
2015.
made the announcement in 2014. I remember the announcement date because
Gotta find a
I freaked the fuck
place to
out,
deploy this. Okay.
and there was no merch. So I went on a website, I forget what it was, and I made a BVS shirt with the Superman logo and the Batman logo.
Yeah.
And I made one, and I had it sent to me because I was so fucking excited. You have no idea how hyped I was.
Oh,
My
I was
two
so
favorite
hyped,
characters
too.
going in there, dude. I was
oh my
so
god, I was
hyped.
so excited.
And I have never been hyped for a movie since that I've, because I was so I liked the movie, but I wasn't blown away with it. I didn't think it, because Man of Steel got me, bro. Man of Steel was like, fuck.
Dude, Man of
Say
Steel
what
was
you want about
great.
it. I thought it was beautiful, and I thought we were gonna get something like that with Batman. And oh my god, dude, here we go. Lens flares,
Maybe not.
cool shit, right? I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, but I was so hyped. I had keychains, I had water bottles, I had mouse pads, I had headphones, shirts, hoodies
End of the trail.
of this movie, this epic showdown. I had the poster of Batman and the Superman with their body, with their facing each other. I had that poster.
Got him. Now to get the back.
But when the film came out, bro, I was just devastated. Like, I can't believe they're gonna kill him. Like, they're gonna kill Superman. Are you serious? You can't just chuck that spear. You're Kryptonian.
Yeah.
Let him have it. Like,
Yeah,
throw it.
Wonder Woman could have done it because she was having fun in that fight. Like,
Yeah, she was. She liked her some battle.
yeah.
She
So
was
like, why didn't you just
"Battle!"
give it? Why didn't you just give it to her?
She would
That-
have. She would have easily laid her life down if she had to.
Yeah, but the thing is, she wouldn't have died because she's getting fucking rocked by this thing, and then she grinned and got back into the fight with no scratch. So imagine what kind of damage she would have done with that kryptonite spear. She would have go stab, 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 flip around him with a freaking lasso around his neck, choking him out, then stab him right in the heart. But no, we gotta kill Superman off. Why? Because Death of Superman, we gotta set up Justice League. That was all in their head. That's not a Zack Snyder fault either.
That was bad. That was really yeah. That was just looking back at it when he's like, "You're my world, Lois," and he picks up the spear. I'm in the audience, and I don't do this, but I actually went loud. I'm like, "You don't need to do that," and everyone looked at me. And I'm like, "Fuck!" I said that out loud, didn't I? What the fuck? I'm so pissed. My friend's like, he doesn't like superhero films that much, so he thought the movie was great. I was like, "You're a fucking idiot. Don't talk to me." I was like, "You don't know nothing about the mythology. You can't speak on this film. Shut up." And then when the Martha thing happened, like, because if I ever told you this, my friend was like, we went to eat Chipotle before the movie, and he's like, "Okay, so tell me about Batman and Superman. How many times have they fought?" I'm like, in the comic books, I think it's been 7 or 8 times, and I think Batman's won every time. Obviously, because if he didn't, he'd be dead. So I was explaining to him about, a little bit about Batman, Superman, the death of Superman, comic book storyline, all that stuff. And I said, yeah, they're not going to kill Superman yet, but they're probably going to kill him in the next movie, because that was my thought then and stuff, And then right off the bat, before the movie comes on, like before the credits roll, he was. I just said this. I swear to God, I just went. They have the same mom. Like, their moms have the same name. I swear to God. I was like, their mom's name is Martha.
He loved New York.
I was like, that's just a weird coincidence. I was just trying to sell my friend on how epic this showdown's going to be, because those two polar opposites. I was just trying to get him really excited because at first he didn't want to go. So I was just trying to tell him anything that would keep him interested in the film. He didn't want to see it with me. But so I just dropped that little tidbit. And then when I looked right at him when he punched me in the shoulder, when he said, "Why did you say that name?" And he punched me in the shoulder with the Martha comment. And then he punched me in the shoulder again when Superman died. I was like, he said I ruined the movie for him, like I seen it all. I was like, no, I didn't. I swear I haven't seen the movie, but those are my biggest. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that was. I didn't like the movie. I think it's because my expectations were so high because of how good that first trailer was. That first trailer. Take out the second trailer really quick out of your minds. That first trailer. Oh my god. I drooled in the mouth, dude. That was so good. I was like, dude, I can't wait. This is going to be epic. The cinematography looked dope. I just couldn't wait for it. And then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014, but no color, just gray. Just, ugh.
So I was into horses.
That was not
Everybody
Doomsday.
at some point?
And then they were like, yeah, by the way, that is not Doomsday.
Man, was
I hate when people like do that, when filmmakers or just people do that, where they clearly try to make something and people hate it, and they're like, oh, that's not the real this, that's not the real that. Like Lex Luthor, that's not the real Lex Luthor, that's just Lex Luthor Jr. And
Well, no, they made that point in the film, but they didn't make the point about Doomsday in the film.
Yeah.
Because Lex Luthor says, "That's my dad. He's the Lex in front of the corp." So we know that he's not Lex Luthor.
But he's not like Lex Luthor, adult Lex Luthor. Like, but the way they set him up though, the way they set him up was like he is going to be the foe for Superman. That's going to be the foe for Superman. That's what they set up. Doesn't matter which Lex Luthor it is. They set up that's the Lex Luthor that's going to fight and take down Superman. And it was terrible. And guess what? At the end of the end credits, he's the one setting up the Doom Society or whatever the fucking Justice League villain side is. He set that up in the post-credit scenes. So that argument that that's not the Lex Luthor in the comics, that's out the window. Because guess what? He's setting up this thing, so he's going to be the key player.
Zach didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's Zach's fault. I'm just saying it's ass.
That post-credit scene was done by Joss Whedon.
It's fucking terrible.
It wasn't supposed to be there in Justice League.
Like the rest of us.
Terrible.
So
Terrible.
I don't. Yeah, it was terrible. I agree with you, but yeah. Justice League sucks.
Well, you can count on me.
I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah, terribly filmed, terribly made.
Is everything okay?
And,
Yeah, I was a firm believer that Joss Whedon wasn't gonna. When I knew the film was in big trouble when Zach when he was let go, like. But we didn't know it at the time he was let go. But when Zach left the project, Josh came in, and I'm like, oh, we're in big fucking trouble. The tone will be off. I guarantee you, it was. You know what I mean? It was just, it was so bad. I just can't believe that they went through with the film. They should have just let Zach, if he was going to tank his own franchise or whatever,
they should have just let him do it. Yeah, that was a $300 million movie.
Isn't Osborn's campaign rally this afternoon?
I think it was more than that.
It was expensive to say the least, and again,
BVS was like $660 million to make.
No, it was definitely not that much. I think BVS was like $250. Let me check. Let's do budget for BVS. 250. So I was right. Okay, so that's for BVS. Let's do Justice League.
But you have to double that.
300 million for Justice League, and then like you said,
was a more expensive movie.
Yeah, Justice League was
money.
Yeah, and it did, how much did that make? Do you know?
No.
Look that up. See how much it made because if the budget was 300 million, we're gonna have to assume the overall budget is 600 million. Yeah, because of budget, you usually got to double that, especially because it's a Justice League movie. Normally, the double the budget doesn't apply to most movies, but if it's a superhero movie, yeah, it applies. Like, I'm gonna say Justice League made 700.
Box office was
Okay.
872.7 million.
So it made them like 150, 200 million,
yeah.
which is terrible. Terrible.
That's for BVS.
Oh, that's for BBS. That's still terrible. That should have been.
Justice League box office was
Another medical
657 million.
Oh, they just broke even. Yikes. Imagine just breaking even on a Justice League movie. That should have been a
really hope
fucking $2 billion movie.
Yeah, imagine destroying a franchise with one film because you wanted to add color to it and you didn't understand that the reason why the BVS didn't work wasn't because of the fans, it was because of the studio interference.
Yeah. And Man of Steel, a lot of people hated Man of Steel because they just want Christopher Reeve Superman. That's
right.
all
They want a super. They just, you know what they want? They want a Mary Sue Superman. They don't. You know what I mean? They want him jovial. They want him happy. They want him just fucking gay. And that's. I'm sorry to say that, but they want him to be like, all-knowing and all-doing. Like I was arguing with somebody on Twitter, that during the Zod fight, when he kicks the fucking oil tanker truck, and then Superman flies in between it, and then the explosion happens right behind him, and he's bitching about why didn't he fly around and save people while that was happening, and I had to break it down for him. Like that scene, it took 12 seconds in film time, but if that was reality, it would have been more like 6 seconds. He's like, well, he just posed in front of the thing. I'm like, no, go back and watch the footage. It blows up. He doesn't know what's going to blow up. He flies, all of a sudden he's walking looking for Zod, then it blows up, then he turns around to see the explosion, and then before you know it, boom, Zod punches him in the face. The fuck? Like, what did you think he was going to do in 6 seconds?
And what pisses me off, people are like, why doesn't he save people? He's been Superman for a day.
Yeah, and somebody's trying to kill him.
Who's actually expertly trained in the arts of Mortal Kombat, bruh?
How does that not register in your head?
I don't know.
You wanted us to stop the whole fight so we could save people? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
I can understand, I guess, why some people just don't want a more grounded Superman, but I thought it made the character more appealing because I'm going to be honest with you. Every time, I always had a sense of hope when I saw him appear in the Justice League cartoons and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, everything's going to be fine now.
Yeah, because everything's fine now. Superman's here, right?
Yeah, but like any other time, just like in a movie when he's in his own movie, I don't want that because that's the entire time. There's no stakes. I'm just like, oh, everything will be fine because Superman's here. I want to go through something. There's got to be a character arc. But how can you have a character arc when everything's already perfect? Like, hence Christopher Reeve's Superman movie. That movie was just him floating around, but like, good day, ma'am, and then just floating around saving people. Like, the movie is literally just 3 separate movies. Again, it's his 30-minute origin story, which should have been cut down a lot because that was overextensive for no reason. And then you got another 40-50 minutes of him just flying around saving random people, doing random things. I thought it was pretty charming when he first showed up as Clark Kent. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought that was really charming seeing him pretend to be scared of a mugger. I was like, okay, that's really cool. I like that.
Oh,
but that charm,
yeah,
but like that charm really wore off because then it's just him flying around, picking up a helicopter, and this and that. It was just no. And then the final act was just Lex Luthor being like, the earthquakes, destruction because property taxes. Not interesting. I don't find that shit
Here's some
interesting.
kryptonite that I found that I put around a chain that we never introduced, but here it is.
Yeah.
Here's kryptonite in a box. Oh no.
So like that shit just to me wasn't interesting. It felt the most comic book Superman ever. So when I saw him, I was like, everything's gonna be okay. But I want conflict in my movies. So having a more human Superman who was raised by humans, I like that. I just like that, and I want to I'm not saying I'd never want to see that Superman, because I do. I want to see that Superman, but I want to see him grow into that. And when he finally becomes into that role, you got to challenge the character in certain ways and just doing it physically is just not the most interesting, because that's why it's hard to make a Superman movie good, because when you try to challenge the audience by saying, okay, here we go, let's make him interesting by giving him a character flaw, and everyone's like, no, he's got to be perfect. So, okay, so where's the conflict going to be? Lex Luthor, and I'm like, but no, because I don't know. I feel like Man of Steel was the way to go, at least in modern filmmaking. And I will defend Man of Steel to the day I die. I love that movie to death. I need to find a way to get my hands on that DVD. I gotta probably order one on Amazon, because I want a physical copy of it. I had a physical copy, but then I lost it in when I was moving, and I haven't found it since.
Digital copy of it.
Yeah, I might buy it just on my PS4, but I already have Infinity War digital copy on my PS4, so therefore I can never throw out my PS4. It's going to have to just dust away when I want to watch Infinity War. I'm just like,
you can just put it on a flash drive, you dipshit.
No.
Yes, you can.
No, I'm saying no, I didn't.
Oh. Yeah, if you get a flash drive with a big enough gig, you can transfer it over.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that then. I have a couple movies. I think I got Deadpool 2 on there too. I got a couple of things.
I have a couple cool. It's weird because my PlayStation has all my comic book movies mostly.
Yeah, the reason why I have a digital copy of Infinity War is because it came out like a week before it was coming out on physical copy. I'm like, I can't wait. Bought it and then watched it. I was like, it's that good. It was so good. Infinity War was great, bro. And then, Endgame. People think that I'll love any superhero movie. I'm like, that's not true. Prove it.
No, it won't. It's not true.
And then I'm like, Endgame. Just like, I did not like it. And they're like, how'd you not like Endgame? I'm like, oh, so you're gonna give me shit for loving a lot of superhero movies, but the second I hate on something that you like, it's a problem. Now I'm a overcritical douchebag. Okay, okay. Pick a lane, stick in it.
Right. Exactly. I know the feeling, man.
Yeah, like, because it's hard being a fan and a critic, because it's like two worlds colliding.
Right?
Yeah, I know that's why you had two-side review. That was your whole thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm thinking about bringing that back, just maybe formatting it a little bit different, because now that you mention it, it's difficult to try to have a linear thought process when you're emotionally involved in the characters yourself. Like, you want to like a film about Batman, but it just sucks, you know what I mean, or something like that, Like, where do you separate the lines?
Yeah, I think I would have hated. I don't get me wrong, I hate The Amazing Webhead 2, but I think I would have hated it more as a film if I wasn't a Spider-Man fan. Like, Spider-Man is my Batman to you. Like, I love and I live and breathe Spider-Man, and I feel like that's the only reason why I didn't leave that theater puking in a bucket. I knew there was something wrong in 2014. At this point, this is when I will call it my critical brain started like expanding, and this is when I really started thinking of film in a more critical sense. But that's the first time I walked out of a superhero movie and going, I don't think I like that. I don't know how I feel. That's the first time I ever walked out of a superhero movie like that. And then over time, I developed a reason. Yeah, over time, I was like, oh, because of this. Oh, because of that. I'm like, oh, this film fucking sucks. And I refuse to watch it again because I'm afraid I'm going to really harp on it.
Yeah, I know. I've been there too.
Oh man,
that's how I was when I saw Suicide Squad. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh boy. And then I bought it. No, I know I bought it, but I bought it and I watched it. And I'm like, you know what? It's stupid, but it's all right. But over time, that movie it's unwatchable. It is unwatchable, and it gives me a fucking headache just thinking about it.
I'm not trying to bring up certain things, but like when we watched it together, that didn't help either. And,
no, sure as fuck didn't. That was the longest.
Me and him were just harping on it. Yeah, that didn't help. Because I noticed like every time we were talking about it, you're like, yeah, but, and we would not let up. Yeah, that was. I feel bad because I feel kind of responsible for you feeling like that now.
No, I was seeing your points, and then like I was listening to your points, and then I was seeing it on film. I was like, oh yeah, this movie isn't even kind of good like I thought it was. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. Like, you know, it gets me a little bit of like at the time when Suicide Squad came out, I was just hungry for more DC content.
Oh, I
So
definitely
might
get
have
you
been-
there. I get you there.
I was like clouded with it being a little like I'll admit that I kind of like
That's it.
um
Okay?
some of the some of the sequences in the film, and but as a whole, no, it's incoherent. Bad acting, very
Rick
one-dimensional
Flag, I
character.
mean American Flag.
American Flag, right?
Fucking terrible, bro. God, it's terrible.
Joel Kinnaman is not a bad actor. He just phones it in this one because we all know it wasn't supposed to be him in the first place. Discount Tom Hardy is what we should call him.
Oh my god, that's very true.
Tom Hardy took one look at the script and was like, "No, fuck that.
Let's see.
This is bollocks."
This is awesome. But then he's like, yeah, Venom,
Arse.
and then
Yeah, but he did Venom, so I'm like, what? Wait, what the fuck? He's like, but he had fun doing Venom though.
I think it's because it was like rated R at one point, and it was supposed to be a completely different movie, and then studio interference, which is a very big theme in superhero movies. I understand it's a lot of money on the line, so that's why studios are a little more apprehensive. But guess what? Fun fact: if you make a good superhero movie and let the creators do the creative stuff, you tend to get a good movie. So don't have too many cooks in the kitchen. Just saying.
right.
Like, I know it's their money on the line, and they are allowed some form of input. They are, but they should not like you hired this director, you hired this actor, let them do their job. And now if you sign this contract and they're straying away from that contract and what you signed up for, that's when you interfere. That's when you should be like, okay.
Or
Stop
voice
it.
your fucking concerns before the film is shot and edited.
Yeah.
Oh, now all of a sudden I have a problem with the tone. What? Where the fuck were you 6 months ago?
Yeah, when we
When you
were
didn't
like
have a
before
problem
we
with it,
started
right.
this 130
Telling
day
everybody
shoot.
it was rated R, right? And then you're like, nah, it's gotta be PG-13 now. What? I'm sorry, Venom's not a good movie.
It's not. It's terrible. It did not deserve $800 million.
I don't know how it did that.
It made more than Wonder Woman. What?
Wonder Woman wasn't that good either. Like, you guys, like, I don't know. I haven't seen a really good comic book movie since The Winter Soldier.
And Infinity War.
Infinity War. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But
they're getting
I
less
don't
and
buy
less
the hype.
common.
You know how many times I've seen Wonder Woman?
Once.
Once.
Yeah, same here.
I don't feel that I need to rewatch that. I've seen fucking Suicide Squad more times than I've seen Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman's a better technical movie. But guess
I
what?
think it's
Wonder
because
Woman
it's just
doesn't
more
appeal
meh.
to me.
That ending was ass. That
No, but
ending
Wonder
really
Woman
ruined the
doesn't
movie
appeal
for
to
me.
me either. It's not my demographic. No offense, I'm not a woman hater, but like, I've never been into that Themyscira fucking. I was never into that. I'm not into that.
Yeah, I was never a Wonder Woman fan either.
But the
Don't get me
film
wrong,
isn't-
she's a badass, and I like her, but I don't know, just like her on her own, I just was never a massive fan of.
No, and for me, it's like Joker. Like, the film gets a lot more praise than it should. Okay.
Yeah.
There's plenty of bad moments in the film. There's plenty of. It's not like Patty Jenkins isn't a bad filmmaker. I think that I have problems with the camera work. I have problems with some of the effects.
Yeah, the effects aren't really her fault though.
It's not mine. It's just like, I watched it and I wasn't blown away. And you can't articulate I wasn't blown away other than saying I wasn't blown away. It's really hard for me to go, yeah, it was okay. But if I don't want to go back and rewatch your movie, for me, that's a barometer.
Especially
like,
if it's a comic
usually-
book movie.
Yes. Sometimes I get home and I'm like, oh my god, that movie was awesome. I want to pirate it just to watch it again. I don't care if it's a bad copy. Film's got to make me do that. You know what I mean? Or, you know, it's just not gonna happen for me. If I don't have rewatchability with your movie,
Demons aren't slowing down.
for me it's a ooh, you died.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh, I'm undelayed. But anyway, so yeah, that's a barometer for me.
Yeah, like you said, Wonder Woman. I've only watched it once. I remember liking it, but the ending I was not a fan of. That's kind of what killed the movie for me. And people now all of a sudden think Gal Gadot is a great actress. No, she's not. That movie only worked at all because of Chris Pine literally carrying the movie on his shoulders, even though he's a secondary character. And I feel like that's what a good director is. Is like that director knew that she could not act fucking jack jiggly shit, so she got someone who could carry the role of star, but not being a star.
I don't know. Patty Jenkins is really close to Gal. I don't think Gal's a horrible actress, but she's not. She can't. I don't think she can carry a movie on her own with her talent. It's for me. It's just I haven't seen enough of her range.
I mean, what was she in? She was in Wonder Woman, BVS, and she was in the Fast and Furious movies. That's all I know. And she was in that one movie. She was in two other movies. One with like Zach Galifianakis, and one with the guy that played what's his face? The guy that was in Man of Steel, the one that played Clark's dad. Kevin Costner? Is that his name?
Kevin Costner was in a movie with Zach Galifianakis.
No. Gal Gadot was in a movie with Zach Galifianakis. That's one movie. That's the one movie. It was like a weird spy, family, neighbor, like comedy.
Yeah, I remember that movie. That was after BVS, though. So
yeah, no, I'm just saying, like,
what did
there's
she do
that.
before BVS.
Before BVS, nothing. Other than Fast Four, then 5, and then dies off in 6. But like, what was that? So there was another movie with her and Kevin Costner. I forget the movie.
Huh. Never seen it.
I
Not a
never
big
seen it
fan
either.
of Kevin Costner.
No, but like that's another movie she was in. But she hasn't been in much. So I wonder why they really picked her for Wonder Woman. I mean, we all know why. Let's be realistic here. With little respect here, I wonder why they picked her.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the point. I was like, let's not say that.
She was, yeah. I'll say it. She's beautiful, and I think Zach wanted to pick maybe somebody wasn't well known yet, like he did with Henry.
Yeah, and people like I know whatchamacallit.
But Zach used her differently. Like the way she talked, the way she handled herself is completely different than when she was with Patty Jenkins. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Zach
to be
was
fair, because
using
there's
her.
a 60-year difference, 70-year difference. So there could be a character arc there that we're going to probably end up seeing in 84, which I hope we do, even though I'm not looking forward to the movie because they fucked up on the casting of Cheetah. People gave me shit when I started hating on Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. They're like, they could just CGI her. I'm like, I don't care. Why the hell would you get someone who's 50 fucking years old to play Wonder Woman's arch nemesis? Why?
Kristen Wiig is 50? No, she's not.
Look at it. Look it up.
Kristen Wiig is not
Yeah.
54 years old.
I got you.
You're high on fucking marijuana.
Oh shit, let me save this guy before he burns off.
Kristen Wiig. Actress. She's born in she's 46. Oh, she was born in New York City.
Out there, the more lives they put.
But she's close to 50. But still, but still, she's supposed to be this agile warrior, someone who's got has the ability to take on Wonder Woman, super fierce and ferocious, and that's not the actress I see. No.
She could surprise us. She's actually not a bad actress. She's been in some really good movies.
Yeah, she's good in her drama roles, but she's known for her comedy, which I think she sucks at. But that's beside the point. I don't like her in half the shit she's in. I know she's good in a lot of her drama roles, and guess what? Those movies I didn't get the chance to see, as I haven't got to see a lot of movies. But I don't know. She hasn't won me over, and now you're gonna tell me she's this big villain? I don't know. Like, you're right though. She could surprise us, but for right now, I hate the idea. Because you're
Her
gonna
net
tell me.
worth is $25 million.
Wait, what's up?
Her net worth is $25 million.
I mean, that's pretty good considering the things she's been in. Like,
She just had twins
wow. Good for her.
in June.
Holy shit, that recently?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of attracted to her.
Is it because of the talent? Because I know you said you're attracted to talent.
Yeah, I am attracted to talent. It is because she's talented, sarcastic, but she's got, she's cute on top of it for me. But yes, I am attracted to talent.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm not feeling.
I feel you. When you come to Cheetah and in what the comic books and the animated shows have shown, I don't know what to expect when it comes to Cheetah, though. You know what I mean? I'm right there with you. She's supposed to be someone who's a fit adversary.
Yeah, and I don't.
I feel like they're turning her into like a villain, yes, but not the villain we want. Or she's just like a different type of Cheetah.
Yeah, we're still going, Webhead. This is gonna be the last mission before we head off.
Yeah, we're still going, Webhead. Talking to our damn selves.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty strong for the first hour and a half. And I want to thank anyone who's watching this afterwards. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the live stream. The live streams usually happen on Thursdays. We might be doing the podcast tomorrow because I'm going away on Saturday for the weekend. Yoink. So I'm gonna figure that out. I'll let you guys know on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Gumps_videos. Yoink. But no, but yeah, and plus, I don't know. Again, I'm like you said, I'm not a Wonder Woman fan. I'm just not. I know it's not because she's a woman. It's just because when it comes to the superhero side, either I want them. I like the weird mutation side of things, but or like space and aliens. I find that shit awesome. The Greek mythology end of it, I'm not the biggest fan of. Just like Hercules. I do not like Hercules as a superhero, and neither does anybody else, because guess what? Guess how many movies he's been in? That was DC Comics. None. He's
right.
like, Hercules has been in movies before, but not DC Comics Hercules.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna see Wonder Woman 84.
Oh yeah,
but
100%.
like it's not on my top tier list of super.
Like if let's say it's not fair to put her against Green Lantern, because Green Lantern is my second favorite superhero of all time, so that's not a fair comparison. But let's say like I don't know, I'll just say it's Superman versus Wonder Woman. I'm watching Superman all day. But because again, the Greek mythology I'm not the biggest fan of. Never been a fan of Greek mythology. I'm just like, okay, so it's superheroes, but in my opinion, less interesting.
They're gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're superheroes, but they're gods.
Yeah. Just like, because that's why superheroes work. Because it's a good versus evil storytelling. It's literally just Greek mythology evolved.
With human issues, but with godlike powers.
Exactly.
What do you choose to do with them? Are you good with them, or are you bad with them? Simple, right? How do you not like that kind of story? Do you choose to be on the good side, or you choose to be on the bad side?
My friend calls her the W word. He calls her a whore? Why? She's not a whore. I know in the animated movie, one of the animated movies...
W word.
I know one of the animated movies calls her a whore because she dresses like a whore. That's what he said. I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucked up, but...
It is, but she does.
Yeah, I was about to say, but she kind of does dress like a whore. I mean, that's not Wonder Woman's fault. That's just...
What does a whore dress like?
Whore.
I mean, we can... Right, like, just like a whore, doesn't necessarily mean she's a whore because she's dressed like that, but... I wouldn't go so far as to call Wonder Woman the character a whore at all. Like,
I mean, it's not the worst she's been called. I mean, Dr. Psycho called her the C word.
oh yeah, that's right.
I love Dr. Psycho. He's such a dickhead. I love him so much. He called her the C word twice. Dude, I was busting out laughing when I saw that. I'm like, okay, you convinced me. Because I was watching a friend's reaction
show, I'm like,
on it.
just when that show, I'm like, this cannot get any more fucked up. Then the C word episode came, and I was like, oh god, they're just going for it, aren't they? Like, they don't give a shit.
Oh my god, I was like, fascinating.
And at first I didn't like Bane. I was like, oh, they made him stupid, but now I fucking love Bane.
That's all, like, every once in a while, me and Chris would be just like, yes, my friend, god damn it!
God damn it! Who put this chair here?
You know, fun fact, well, not even a fun fact, just something that happened, that I actually stubbed my toe on my kitchen table, and I was like, god damn it, who put this table there? My mom was like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, you wouldn't understand, Mom.
You wouldn't understand, it's meta, okay? I just had a meta moment.
I had a very meta moment, you wouldn't understand. Oh my god, I love my mom to death. She does not know who she raised.
Every once in a while, I walk in and when my wife is with my daughter, I bust in the room and I go, the streets will run with Razzie Dazzys! And then I walk out. And they're just like, what? What the fuck was that?
I love making references that only get like one person in the room of a room of like 30 understand. And the one person's like, I get it. I'm like, yeah, see? Razzie Dazzys!
Right, Razzie Dazzys! I got a Razzie Tazzy for a Blaine. It's Bane! You know it! God damn it! I come here every day! Whatever, Blaine. And he's like, oh!
The one time we actually see Bane get pissed off is when he fights Batman and literally wrecks his shit. I'm like, oh no!
Remember when Bane was stomping on the fish? He's like, I'm stomping on all your fishes!
No, he actually Banes out. He hulks out on Batman,
Don't
breaks his
tell
fucking
me
spine.
I haven't watched it all! Don't tell me.
You didn't finish season 2?
No, I haven't finished season 1.
Razzie Dazzy!
I haven't finished season 1.
Finish it!
Do it.
It's literally 20 minutes an episode. And there's like
I know, but
12
I'm
episodes a
literally
season.
a dad. I'm literally getting ready for the next school year. I'm literally trying to make a movie. I literally just pissed off all my friends. I literally am still a husband. I literally have no time.
Well, tell your wife that, like, hey, sit down with me for an hour. We'll watch 3 episodes a night.
No, I tried and she doesn't like it. This is stupid.
It's time for
I'm
a
like, but
divorce.
it's not. Nah, but she's just like, she's not that type. She'd rather go watch a Disney movie with my daughter. She doesn't find that vulgar shit funny.
I find it funny. It's not because it's vulgar, but I mean,
I find it funny because these are the characters we all know, and they're acting
Yeah.
not like the characters, and that's what's funny to me.
yeah, that's what's funny to me
If
too.
you're not a fan of the comics, then I don't think you're gonna love this as much.
Yeah. And I just love how it's like he screwed Bane over so many times. It's so sad.
Stop it.
No, I'm referring to season 1. I know now. I know that you haven't, for some reason, finished season 1. So, yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Just poor Bane.
A credit card.
Pick a
Pick a card.
Any card.
Is it the 3 of hearts?
I want
No.
there to just be like every Bane moment, like
There's a cut of season 1 Best of Bane on YouTube. The ending is the one with Joshua and the credit card, and he throws the chair out because he falls over it. God damn it! Who put this there? And he die chair. And he throws it out the window, and it's like
so
fucking
good.
funny.
It's so good. I love that show so much. It's so funny. I'm not saying anything from season 2, but I think season 2 is less funny, but it's got a more story focused thing.
Oh, I don't really give a shit about the story as much as I care about the funny. So you're telling me it's less funny?
Yeah, in my opinion. Some people think it's funnier, but in my opinion, it was less funny. But there's still plenty of Bane in there, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
God damn it! I just want
You tried to kill Harley Quinn and you paid with it in cash.
That's what I want to see. Just a T-shirt with Bane and just in all caps. God damn it!
God, with his hands all up Bane style, like. Dude, I could so easily make Bane quote T-shirts that are really badass. I'll just make them for us.
Yeah, bro. It's just like it just explosive, just like shh.
The streets will run with Razzie Tazzy. I want that shirt. I want that shirt so bad.
Oh man. This scene right here. I'm not sure if you're watching it right now, but this is what I want to see in a movie. Right here, when the crane's falling down. We technically got it in Spider-Man 3, but there was I want to the point where there's so much going on, and you just see Spider-Man working his ass off to cause as minimal damage as possible. I'm not sure. What part are you on right now?
You just whip somebody off the roof. You just super punch.
Oh, you're way behind. Yeah, you're probably like 3 minutes behind.
Really? No way.
Try fast forwarding.
Did that just
I
happen?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right now chasing a helicopter.
Reports of a helicopter with a wrecking ball?
Oh, the streets will run.
The streets will roll with Razzie Dazzy.
They made fun of Pixar? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I could tell the writers were just sitting around having fun, and that's what I like to see too. They're just like, okay, let's have this really fun show.
Like when we spitball ideas that we want to do, if we ever get the fucking ability to do it.
Yeah.
Where we just spitball the craziest shit we can think of.
Dude, we would definitely have like a South Park-esque series going on with a multiverse and shit.
No, if people don't understand how much time we put into that.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about multiverses, and colliding, worlds colliding, and all kinds of shit.
Weird parodies of parodies, and it just... Like, people are not going to know that the story of that came up when we were just literally sitting around talking for a few hours. It's like, that's the plot.
Right.
But I feel like there needs to be more of that. There's a time and a place for that, and I feel like just having, like, strong character arcs, that's not what you always want to see. Sometimes there's just good times to just sit down and have a freaking weird laugh.
Of shit.
Yeah.
Right. Make fun of things that are done, like everyone can recognize, but you're just making fun of it.
Yeah.
Like the Batman's at the bar, and then we had Hitler and Arnold.
It was like in the 50s.
We're taking things to the extreme, right? In the 1950s, like a 50 sitcom. Like that's just some outside the box weird. Who thinks of shit like that?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, and it's like people think of it probably, but just they don't think about it for too long.
No, we developed like 3 or 4 stories, and then we developed 3 or 4 like scenarios.
And then we like developed like spin-offs and like how these characters are gonna fight, how they're gonna interact with each other.
Right. And we had those fat ninjas, right?
Yeah, the fat ninjas and the I forget what we called the supernatural parody. There was like one, I think it was like the Unnaturals or some shit like that,
right.
Where they just fight like what's his face?
Not the supernatural.
What the ghost phase Slenderman, where they fight Slenderman, but it's not Slenderman's not there to kill him. He's there to actually just trying to ask out one of the main characters. He's sitting there just trying to murder people, but he's actually just there trying to ask him out on a date.
Yeah, he just walks really slow, and he's just been trying to ask this person on a date.
So at the end of the season, we're like, yo, dude, like, so I kidnapped you here for a reason. And he's like, you're gonna eat me. He's like, no, I just wanted to ask you, will you go on a date with me? And he's like, wait, what? I've been trying to ask you out this entire time. Now it's Bane. Like, I've been trying to ask you out since day one, but everyone keeps saying I'm a killer.
He's just misunderstood.
That's what we were like. That's the joke. Slenderman's misunderstood.
Yeah, he's got arthritis and he just walks really slow. It's not his fucking fault. He just lingers.
Oh yeah, every time he disappears, it's actually him tripping from his arthritis in his
Right,
knees.
he just fell down.
He's like, "Oh."
You cut to the kid, and he looks back, and he's gone, and the kid's freaking out. He runs away, and then we slowly pan to the forest to where he was standing, and there's Slender Man on his back trying to get up like a fucking turtle. Like, damn it!
He's like, goddamn arthritis, I know I shouldn't walk out in the rain.
He's like, I don't have one of those life alerts. I've fallen. Who is this? Slender Man, I've fallen in the forest. Where are you, Slender Man? I'm in the forest back behind Billy's house.
Who's Billy? he's got a roll home. That's how he gets home. He just rolls there.
He just rolls.
And every once in a while he's like, Almany. It's just rubbing against his knee on the street. This is the shit. This is a live event of us just having our moment. Yeah. Oh my god, that's great. Some people just take things too seriously. When I talk with you, we're like, this wouldn't be funny, right? And then we just take that scenario. We were like, let's multiply that by 1,000.
Right, let's turn it up a notch. Let's add this. What?
Like, what the fuck? Okay, guys, I'm gonna call that the stream. That was a much longer than I was even anticipating. Chris, thank you for making this time fly by really fast and giving us a good part too.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate letting me come on and talk with you. It's always fun. Sorry I hijacked your stream on a rant. No,
it's all good. I'm here to just have a talk. I beat this game enough times. I'm pretty sure people seen the playthroughs enough times where they're just here to chill out and have a conversation. It's like a podcast, but with a pretty little, thing going on with visuals. So, yeah. I mean, thank you for joining, as usual. Webhead, thank you for coming back at the end. I want to thank everybody. Dork Duck Store, what was it? Something Ninja? Who joined Angry Ninja, and a couple other guys. We had 6 viewers. We had 7 at one point, which is the highest on a gaming stream for Thursdays in the past several weeks. I want to thank you guys so much for that. We'll most likely be back next week. I'll let you guys know. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Gump_videos. I'll let you guys know there, and I'll keep you updated on what's going to happen with the podcast, and I'll see what's going on with that. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Peace. Like and subscribe. God damn it! It's Explosion Bane. God damn.